What is up, everybody? Destin Legary here with that clickbait. How's it going, everybody? We're going to have a real conversation tonight, just you and I, just me and chat, and we are going to talk about Anthem and why Destiny should be worried. And I already see chat jumping to Destiny's defense, but no, we are actually going to get into it and why Destiny should be worried. And in a word, it's really, really quite simple. The Destiny gameplay loop is a sign of complacency, in my opinion. If you really want to sit there and grind out the same stuff again, then great, Destiny is for you. But I've mentioned it on the show before. I've mentioned it on my streams. I don't think anything's going to kill Destiny. Destiny is still going to be there. But why are we playing Destiny right now? We did the last word quest and we got it, and what are we going to use it for? It doesn't really give you too much of a competitive advantage. It's a good weapon, but there are alternate counterparts that you can utilize to use the weapon. And yeah, we're just sitting here on the Anthem live screen right now. And to facilitate my point and that sort of complacency issue that we're feeling, I want to hop on over to the Destiny 2 Forsaken stream, which has DCP is live right now. We got Crafty is live. Lucky and Buttwiper still in there. So it's the regular crew, right? Anthem brings a breath of fresh air that I think is going to give Destiny a run for its money. Right now, Destiny's up there with Magic, Grand Theft Auto 5, Poker, Escape from Tarkov, Elder Scrolls Online, Elsewhere, RuneScape's above it, Smash Bros. Is above it, and Hearthstone is above it. And the concern that I want to address on today's show is that the game just, there's something missing, there's something off, and I haven't been able to put my finger quite on it. And by the way, if you want to join in on the conversation, head on over to twitch.tv /the Destin channel. And yeah, I brought this up in my review for Destiny 2 and Black Armory, and what we ended up getting was odd, to say the least. We got really repetitive grind structure, we got random rolls on weapons, and I think the community is bored. I don't know about you, but doing that last word quest, I'm like, why am I even doing this? I understand that I need to do it because I host a show about Destiny and that I need to be an informed consumer of the game and talking about it, but I don't want to bash it, and I'm not bashing it unintelligently. I want to have an actual conversation about why Destiny should be worried, and they should be worried because of the content that they just presented to us. It was 4 forges, largely similar, held behind a grindy quest that wasn't particularly fun. It's just a thing that you can do. So if Anthem comes out and it has a big audience that is really, really enjoying their game, I think Destiny should be a little bit worried, because I think people are going to move on to new things. In addition to Anthem, right around the corner, we're going to be getting it on February 15th. We're also going to get Division 2. So back in the day, it was just Destiny versus Division, right? And I think the large majority of us ended up going over to Division for a week because nothing was happening in Destiny. And nothing's happening in Destiny right now. But here's the really dangerous part. Black Armory, for the most part, I would say was fairly uncompelling. And if that's the type of content that Bungie is going to present to their audience, like, hey, look what you can consume. You consume a grindy quest to get weapons that you don't really need and level up another 50 light level. But why? Why would you want to pursue that endeavor towards endgame? Meanwhile, here's the shiny new game based in a space-like setting, backed by EA. And as long as they get the server thing right, there is going to be a shift, just like there was with Monster Hunter. A lot of people are going to play that game, and I'm not saying that people won't play both. but there is competition on the table that people need to be aware of. Even the PvP playing space, we don't have Trials of Osiris to draw us back every week. So what are we going to be going back for? That is my question, really. And I want to open it up to you guys also to kind of keep this conversation going. I don't want it to be one-sided. I would love to hear what you have to say. So if you head on over to twitch.tv/the Destin channel, you can hit !Discord and call in, ask a question, and I'll answer it live. I'll be hanging out in my chat. And again, I'll put a link to my stream where you can talk about it in more detail. Really quick, I'm going to go ahead and open up some of my gameplay from last week. I don't have a ton. I didn't roll on a ton of my Anthem gameplay because I was figuring out the game. So most of it's bad is what I'm saying. Chris Rackley, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. By the way, don't forget, you can actually support me and this endeavor that I do after work by subscribing with Twitch on Amazon Prime, which is totally free, of no cost to you. And yes, I do this after work. This is something that I do totally separate from IGN. So thank you to everybody who has supported. And I see you, Sarah, in chat there, but you are deafened and muted. So if you could just undo that, I'll bring you in, hear your question, or you can just yell at me and scream epithets. Shatter Totem, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. That was perfectly timed. I got the point and everything. So let's bring up some gameplay so we're not just staring at the loading screen, which is coming in tomorrow. And I'm not bashing Destiny just now, suddenly out of the blue, Andy. I've been critiquing Destiny for 4 years. And guess what? Destiny 2 is here, and they're largely still encountering the same problem. That problem of not having an enticing grind in the gear game. Oh god, that's loud. So real quick, I'm going to bring up some gameplay so that you guys have something a little bit more enticing to watch than just my face. Make that full screen and fast forward a little bit so we can get through the loading screen. This is some of my gameplay from the weekend. It's probably terrible, but it's funner to watch than just me talking. Yeah, so basically, the point that I'm trying to make is that Destiny is sort of in a slump right now. Not sort of, it is. I feel like viewership isn't really interested in Destiny right now. I've seen the lowest Twitch numbers that I've seen in a while, especially on a night when one of the biggest shows, DCP, a competitor to Fireteam Chat, is watching. And as we continue this conversation, don't forget you can watch over at twitch.tv/the channel. That is another way that you can support the show. And you can do that for free. We're going to do a 10-minute unboxing a little bit later in the stream of shaving products. Coogan, thank you, man, and it's good to see you again. Anyway, one thing that they're doing that I think Bungie has never, and by they I mean EA and the BioWare team, one thing that they're doing better is they are being more communicative with their community. They're being wide open, and I give credit to Deej and DMG and all those other guys, but it might be a little bit too late. Meanwhile, here's BioWare, who just said, hey, we're putting our name on the line with this game, and we're going to put the best game possible that we can out there. And when we encounter problems like the bugs we did this weekend, we're going to be totally transparent and let you guys know that we are working on them. Loxy brings up a good point. Bungie's mantra of messaging, we're listening, smacks a little bit of boy cried wolf. And the community is feeling that. The community has been fed up with years. Here's one from DevQT. With all the recent news and leaked microtransaction store, you think we should be scared the way YouTubers have been flipping? No, because all that's placeholder and all that sensational stuff is total bullshit. And actually, I'm glad that you brought that up, DevQT. By the way, I'm just going to take questions on Twitch because there are way more people watching than I expected. So I'm only going to manage that chat tonight. I was going to do both. So head on over to twitch.tv/the Destin channel. Watch over there. We got about 900 people watching across the two platforms. I'm going to narrow it down. And Takun, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub as I open the pop-out window. So he brought up something really, really interesting. How do you feel about the microtransactions? Should we be scared? First of all, it's all fucking bullshit. None of that stuff is locked in stone. The developers don't know what they're going to charge for the microtransactions. Everything's been placeholder that we've seen so far. So anything leaked is from, if not final build. The demo is 6 freaking weeks old. You think that somebody got a leg up on us and figured out how much all the microtransactions are going to be? No. And secondarily, you know what Destiny doesn't do? It doesn't allow you to earn most of that stuff through in-game missions. They finally got around to that with Forsaken, but only after we were pissed about it for a while. Fresco Camco, thank you for the sub, man. I'm just going to be opening gameplay here and playing it in the background from the weekend. Again, I apologize because it's probably abysmal. Also, desktop audio's off, so you couldn't hear it anyway. I'll turn it down a little bit there. So, what do we got here? We got a few more questions. And, oh my God. Ice Rain 365, thank you so much. So, okay, so I have this crazy bounty. I didn't expect this many of you to watch. I'm going to take a few questions from chat. And then, yeah, how long do I have to do this? For 10 minutes. All right, so we'll go about half an hour, and I'll keep track of numbers. I have 234 people watching. 234. Oh, wow. I was telling playing on the way over, I'm like, I don't think many people are going to watch. They seem really... I streamed Destiny the last few days, and about getting last word and everything, going through that. You want full screen Destin? Who wants full screen Destin? Who wants the old gameplay? You let me know in chat. Anyway, I was playing like I streamed Destiny the other day and I had about 70 concurrents and you guys were super engaging and you guys are fantastic as always. And I even appreciate the passionate debate defending Destiny. I'm just bringing up. All right. Full screen. I'm just bringing up a concern that I have. Because I feel that the content that we were given with Black Armory did not live up to expectations that we have for Destiny, for Bungie, for any of it. And I think all of us, I mean, oh, I love that clip. Sorry, you guys are missing it. I got to pause this. So if you're not going to watch the gameplay, we'll just do Destin, and we will do Destin with music. So I'm going to put on a little bit of audio here. Mad Fable, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate you guys very much for taking the time to hop in, have a conversation with us. And don't forget, we do the Anthem show now, actually, on my Twitch, twitch.tv/the Destin channel. Every Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, we do it live, and the bot is immediately accessible to everybody who subs with Twitch Prime. And then one day later, it's just access to everybody on twitch.tv/the Destin channel and youtube.com/the Destin channel. I'm trying to find my intro music here so we can have a little bit of drama. We can have a little bit more drama with my rant. Here we go. We got a little bit of dramatic music for my passionate rant. So you guys seem to feel that I'm being a little bit crazy. And I want to hear, why did the volume get lower when you went full screen? Did I bump the mic thing? I don't know. See, I have a gain here, and I'll just bump up the gain a little bit because you guys talk about how my mic's a little bit lower all the time. So, here's Bungie, right? They have Destiny 2. They release a super grindy quest with Black Armory. I gave it a really low score, and I'm actually glad I did because now that I've finished it, I think I landed perfectly on the money. And here comes Anthem, and look, go search YouTube. I'm going to show you guys something really quick. We're going to go back to the picture-in-picture really quick. Let's see what happens when you search Anthem, EA. Dead on Arrival. Serious Trouble. What the fuck? Demo issues? Anthem roasted over ridiculous release schedule. To be fair, that one should be. It's a dumb release schedule. What are EA thinking, Anthem? The huge problem. The $20 skin situation. There's no fucking situation. They haven't even locked in their pricing yet for anything. The focus Major, thank you so much for the sub. Buyer beware. EA's Anthem demo to be very different than the actual game. Oh my God. I have to click it. I'm so angry, and EA's evil. You got to remember, those guys, and it gets worse. This is wrong. BioWare responds. Oh, that's actually a good one. Dr. Disrespect, I watched this. He did the same phone joke that I did, apparently. He said, Dr. Disrespect's roast EA for long loading screens. And then, fail, all in caps. Here's the thing. When these people realize that BioWare and EA aren't going to fuck up this launch, that it's important to them that they learn their lesson from Star Wars, they're going to change their tune. Here's another one. The greed of EA, Anthem microtransactions. What are you even talking about, dude? You can't buy anything right now. And I'm not being an EA apologist. Here's the thing. If this game fucking tanks, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, guess what? I was wrong. It sucked. Whatever. And that we can get back to our lives and playing Destiny. We're going to go full screen Destin for you guys. And basically what I wanted to come here and say today is, in my opinion, the Destiny content that we have been getting is complacent content, and it doesn't have the same imagination that Destiny did at launch, and it has really disinterested me. I did the Last Word quest with you guys last night. I read all the lore. 22 views on that last one. Good. Don't watch that shit. It's a manipulative type of content release. It's an anger germ that is released in your brain that promotes you wanting to consume more content like that. All right, so people change their mind. They realize that I'm ugly. So we're going to go back to gameplay picture-in-picture. So, yeah, it's just every quest. Whoops. That's got to go back over here. Ooh, Razorfon. Thank you so much for the sub, man. Every quest that was introduced in Destiny 2 was hidden behind a crazy, grindy quest structure and everything. It just wasn't that fun. By the way, if you want to call in, now's the time. Now's the time. You can call into this show right now. You can talk to me live on the show. I want to hear counterpoints. I want to get into it. I see Jay in there. Jay, can you hear me? He's just lurking. He just wanted to come hang out, not say anything, and be a creepy man. All right, he bounced. So, all right, so we'll do the text version. You guys can chat behind your keyboards, and we'll discuss that way. So here's one from Mike Doctor. When Bungie introduced microtransactions, you and the Fireteam chat crew were very hard on the slippery slope, even though we had no info at the time. Just wondering why you are not as wary this time. When they introduced microtransaction in Destiny, I was fucking pissed. They took a character that could have been a narrative delivery person of some interest. They ripped her out of the game and then put her back in so they could sell us shit. And you know what they did? They sold us mass tied behind RNG, which is now basically gambling and is being considered as an illegal business practice in some countries. So yeah, I was pretty pissed when Bungie did it. We're talking about a pre-release game. Here's what I didn't do. Did I take them to task when it was the fucking alpha of the game or the beta of Destiny? No, because it was an alpha and a beta. You can't, you have to realize I'll fully admit this. I have made the mistake. I've given Gears of War a hard time because I said the graphics look bad, and I paid for it because I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. But when you're taking somebody to task for a placeholder text thing, which, yes, it's been at the preview events and such, and they tell us every time, they're like, hey, that's just placeholder numbers. None of that's finalized. And they were stupid numbers when we did the IGN first. We saw it, and it was just like weird numbers. And then like they solidified probably a more realistic rounded number and just started getting the UI looking how they wanted it to look. And then somebody just jumped off of it. Jay, you there? Jay's still not there. Paris, I'm going to drop you in. And when you figure out how to unmute your mic, let me know and we can have a conversation. I want to hear some counterpoints. I want somebody to bounce off of and talk with about this. I want to hear the other side of the perspective. Here's some questions about Freelancer Chat from Goose. Will Freelancer Chat be a weekly show? We've done 3 of 3. We've done 2 episodes so far. Fuck yes, it's going to be a weekly show. And we got BioWare coming on the show. And if we don't like the microtransaction prices, I'm going to ask them. I asked Bungie about the Xbox thing for years, about why the Xbox exclusives were still happening and how much the community hated it. They never gave me a good answer. Dren H, thank you for the sub. And eventually, they stopped inviting me to... Never mind. Unholy Night, good to see you. RZA, how's it going?
Fine.
Hey, dude, you got a counterpoint on this? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I'm just glad that somebody finally came out and said something, because I don't think it's fair to the developers, because everybody's going off of a screenshot from Reddit.
Yep.
And they have no facts. And another thing that's been bothering me is that everybody wants free stuff from grinding in the game, but nobody wants to support the game by buying the microtransactions that are strictly cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing, I put it on Twitter today. I was like, what's an equal ratio between grinding in the game and real money? You know,
mm-hmm.
So if I spend $5 on a skin or a texture, how much time grinding should you do to get that same texture? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's actually something in business. Sorry, I dropped us down to a private channel. That's something in business, and I hope you can hear the call-in questions, because if you want to roast me, come on and roast me. I can take it. Let's have a serious conversation about this. Call me out, whatever you want to do. But I want to talk about this and sort of come to a consensus on what the fuck is going on in the community, because they are roasting every chance that they get. They just want EA to die, the evil EA. And
it's not fair.
It's ludicrous. They're mad about Star Wars still, so that I get. That I totally understand. And we'll see what happens with the full game, but just wait a second. Can you wait a second? I know you need those YouTube clicks, but damn.
And Destin, one more thing. I love Destiny. I've played Destiny since the alpha, since the first Destiny 1 alpha. I've been there.
I still have gameplay clips. Dude, I still have gameplay clips of me sitting at the tower waiting for the alpha to like kick us off eventually, right? On my PlayStation.
But I just want to know, what did you think about them saying it's okay for a free-to-play game to have $60 microtransactions for characters? Like, for example, I know you probably haven't played a lot of Warframe, right?
I played a little bit on stream. I played like the first few hours to kind of have some context to what people are discussing.
But see, what nobody's not saying is Warframe sells the frame, which are equivalent to javelins.
Yeah.
You can buy like packs for Warframes, like Prime Access packs, and they're like $79, $60, and nobody's saying anything about that. They're selling the Warframes for 375 platinum, and that adds up to like 20. It's like $20, $20 to $25. You can't even buy like 375. You have to buy like a $20 pack and then buy like a $10 pack. So it's basically you're spending $30 for that.
So
Black Desert,
you're right.
Black Desert Online sells cosmetic outfits for $30 a piece.
Yeah, it's
$30.
See, that's nuts.
I don't get it.
No one's taking them to task. You know why? Because it's not a juicy headline. Nobody's worried about Warframe. Nobody's worried about... Well, they might be worried about Black Desert Online. They have a pretty passionate community. But
that's coming to console. That's about to be on Xbox One.
It is, yeah.
Totally. Are we gonna hear the same thing? Are we gonna hear the same thing about that we're hearing about Anthem?
I think it'll be quieter, and I think it's different because Anthem is free to play. So there's like this mental thing that happens. They're like, oh well, I didn't pay anything for it.
No.
So
Black Desert isn't free to play either.
Sorry, I'm talking about Warframe.
Oh, Warframe. Yeah. Warframe is free to play, but they're not supporting the dev. Like if you don't support the developer, you have content droughts, right?
Yeah.
Warframe goes through long content droughts.
Yeah.
But the people are paying for stuff. They're paying money every day. It's like platinum in the marketplace. And that platinum isn't there. People buy that and put that in the marketplace to trade.
Yeah.
But it's still a content drought.
I know what you're saying totally, and I hope people are willing to support this new model that BioWare is trying. We're getting a lot of people queuing up, RZA. So, dude, super appreciate you calling in and adding your voice to the stream.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for putting your voice out there.
Yeah, no problem. I'll grab the next guy. Thanks, man. Blitz.
Yeah.
Blitz, you're up. Is your mic on?
Oh, what? I'm up? Wait, what's up? What?
Hey, so you're on the stream. I'm letting people call in tonight. Are you here to roast me, agree with me, or do you have a counterpoint? What do you got?
No, I was just talking about the Anthem thing. I mean the Warframe thing. Basically, I'm saying that like because you can trade for like resources in Warframe, like the what's the currency called? The special currency where you can use to buy Warframes and things. You can.
It doesn't really matter, but what you're basically saying is that you're able to get money by playing the game in Warframe, so you can get the stuff for free.
Yeah, you can get the stuff for free, and also, basically, I think also the goodwill matters a lot too with EA and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that's what they've been working towards. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. How do you feel about the YouTubers kind of jumping to conclusions with microtransactions? Do you think they're doing it too fast? Do you think they're doing a community service by saying that, hey, this is what's going on and I'm mad about it? How do you feel about those sort of videos?
I think they're sometimes good, like if they do it the right way, saying like raising issues, like problems to those type of things.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of them are not doing it the right way, where they like just want to jump the gun and get views, basically.
I agree with that, and that's kind of the point that I'm making on that front. Thank you, Blitz, for calling in. I appreciate you correcting us on the Warframe stuff. I'm going to grab somebody else because there's a lot of people queuing up. Thanks, man. I'll see you soon. So, yeah, basically, if you're just joining us, thank you. I'm taking callers live right now to kind of counterpoint. I talked a whole bunch about why Destiny should be worried, and basically the point that I'm making is that Destiny feels like they're sort of complacent. I'm going to take 2 more calls and take a really, really short break, but there's tons of people queued up, and we are good to go. So I'm going to bring in, who have we not talked to yet? I see Wolves. I see a lot of regulars. We're going to see if Nem's on there. Hey, Nem, is your mic hot? You there?
Hello?
Hey, Nem, how's it going, dude?
Hey, Destin, how's it going, man?
Great. So I'm having people call in to sort of talk about this thing, and the title of the stream is Anthem, Why Destiny Should Be Worried. Do you agree, disagree? Do you feel I'm being sensational? What are your thoughts today?
No, I definitely agree. Destiny, as you mentioned, Destiny is in a very rough spot right now. The way they've structured the annual pass to trickle out content throughout the month, and content that is already a little bit, it's grindy for sure, but it's not the kind of like worthwhile grindy, because ultimately I'm not finding myself in the forges a whole lot. Like there's not a whole lot of reasons other than the exotics to really play that Black Armory content. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, and that's the problem. Like RZA said, we all love Destiny. We all love Destiny. The issue is that there's no reason to go after these chases. I went over the last word. I stayed up till 1 a.m. I think getting it. I was a disaster the next day at work, and the problem is I'm like, okay, I got it. Who cares?
Now what?
Yeah, now what? Okay, so I take it in PvP, which chat see me play PvP. I'm a disaster. So why did I do the grind? And then I'm like, okay, yeah. What's the new Mega Man Blaster hand cannon thing? It's Jotun. So I still have to go in for that and grind for that. But I'm just like, what am I going to use this for? Am I going to use it for the next expansion where I level up to the new light level? And for what? What's the chase? And there was something really magical about Destiny 1. You go into the new raid. You go into Vault of Glass, right? And it was a blast. Well, I wouldn't say the grind was a blast. They worked on addressing that. And, but it was more fun. There was something magical and special about running that raid with your crew and figuring out ways to knock the bosses off the ledges. And I have really, really fun memories. But that's lost to me in Destiny 2.
Oh, absolutely. And I, as somebody who's like I'm sure everybody, that supports Destiny has played it from beta and alpha. I feel like the investment in Destiny 1 year one was probably at its peak compared to how it is now in D2, because you had reasons to run a Nightfall. You had reasons to run a raid, because those were literally the only two avenues.
You could get
exotics.
Galahorn, you could get Vex Mystoclast, you could get any other exotic. Now, how do you get an exotic? Tell me how to get a random exotic.
Oh, literally anywhere in the game.
Literally anywhere in the game, and the drop rate is abysmal. The drop rate is a joke, and it's a problem. And they said they fixed it, but they haven't yet. I'm going to be pulling Sunny in next. I see you there, Void Space. Thanks for the call out. Yeah, Nem, any final thoughts? Just basically like Destiny is in this place where here's our annual pass. Guess what? It's a bunch of grindy quests that aren't really that fulfilling. And then you level up to 650 and that's it. And we had a raid that was also bugged. Whatever.
Yeah. Honestly,
now I want to be careful when I'm saying that, because I don't want to discredit all the effort that the developers put in, the nights away from their families. I recognize that everybody does that. But the reason I'm saying they should worry is because people feel complacent. They have about 10,000 people watching their directory right now on Twitch. You know why? Because there's nothing exciting going on. I'm not excited to hop in and play Destiny. There's nothing for me to chase. I don't care about a title. I wanted to see the Last Word story. I read every piece of lore live on stream, and it was dull. It was dull. It was unfulfilling. And I'm like, well, I got the gun that I don't really want for PvP. I guess I'll be back when they do Crimson Doubles, a mode that was introduced in Destiny 1.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I am right now. Like, a lot of the stuff that I'm excited for is coming in Season of the Drifter, because I love Gambit, and I'm a big fan of like the Shadows lore and all that stuff. But
I like Gambit a lot too.
Yeah, that's like my favorite thing, dude. And just right now, there's really nothing else, and I think that's one of the good things about Anthem is going to be able to coexist between these looter shooter types of games, where it's going to fill in that void that Destiny is going to be having ultimately until however long this annual pass is existing. Because going forward, trickling content like this, I'm not really sure if it can sustain itself,
That they'll get people back when Destiny 3 launches or their next big content drops. But for these next few, they no longer have that Activision partnership. So it's just kind of like they're finishing. This content's probably done. Whatever they're going to do for Season of the Drifter and the next thing, it's probably done. We're very close to it.
Yeah.
And they're working on whatever's coming in September. If anything is coming in September, who knows what their infrastructure is like now. Nem, thank you so much for calling in. I'm going to take somebody else. But, dude, it's great to hear from you, and I appreciate you being part of the conversation.
Absolutely. Have a good one, man.
You too. All right, so next up, we're going to bring in Sunny. I'm going to do Sunny and then one more. I'm going to take a break and unbox the shaving kit that I'm supposed to do on stream. That takes 10 minutes tops. So if you want to support me, you can watch on twitch.tv/the Destin channel. You can call in. I want you to be part of the conversation. I don't want to just be some guy sitting here, the old guy shaking a stick in the air. I want you to call me out. Call me out on my inconsistencies. Call me out on my bullshit if I'm talking shit. Let's bring Sunny in. Sunny, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing excellent. I'm actually having an excellent January. Thank you for asking. How are you doing, man?
Good. Yeah, likewise. I did want to call in to kind of provide a different side of the coin.
Excellent.
I think, I think a lot of people are looking at Anthem, hoping it's going to be something, especially because of the state of Destiny. But I think one of the things that Destiny has going for it that, we're unsure about with Anthem is the level of polish.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I'll totally agree with you there. The gunplay of Destiny cannot be beat for the most part. I don't know how people are feeling about PvP right now. I hear a lot of sort of frustration, and people are liking it. There's still a problem with the supers. They said they were going to break the game, and they broke it all right. Now they're trying to sort of bring it back. But yes, you cannot doubt that moment-to-moment gunplay, popping a shield, hitting those crit spots. It feels really, really great. The problem is I've been doing that for 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I think people are so hungry for something new. I just hope that people temper their expectations. You know, especially with some of the issues we've seen in the demo, not necessarily the server issues, but a lot of the quality of life things,
like the stun lock traversal stuff. If you get hit in the air, you just have to fall forever. I think there's definitely going to be frustrations, but I love the transparency that Anthem has had this far. And in my opinion, they're kicking things off right. They've said to me in an interview, we're not going to get it right the first time. We want to hear your feedback, and we want to work to make this the best game we possibly can. And that's something Bungie waited too long to do, I think. So now there's this sort of distrust amongst the community. Not us.
Yeah, and it's still a little unclear about, you know, are they actually listening or putting weight.
Or blowing smoke.
We're saying, yeah.
And that's a concern, right?
I hope that Anthem takes the some cues from not necessarily just looter shooters, but things like Path of Exile and Diablo.
Oh, that'd be
cool.
With
the scaling difficulty, that's something that's excited to see. But what Diablo does is, you know, it has those greater rifts that infinitely scale. And I hope we don't get to a point where, you know, we're so geared that I think it's Grandmaster 3 becomes trivial.
You know what?
We don't. Yeah.
Hold up. What's some of your favorite memories in Destiny 1? I'll tell you mine, and then you can go. My favorite times in Destiny 1 are when I'm stupid overpowered and I go back to that big boss and I melt his freaking face. That's some of the most fun you have in Destiny. So I think, I think it's going to take a long time to get to Grandmaster 3.
Hopefully.
But to get to Grandmaster 3 and be able to melt, that's going to take even longer. Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
Well, I think playing off what you just said, some of my best times in any of these loot-based games is, like you said, when you are, especially if it's PvP only, when you're like grossly overpowered and you just have that power fantasy. But usually those things serve a purpose in another area of the game, where if you're trying to get mats or you're trying to do something where being overpowered and you're doing things so quickly serves a purpose, but then you can also go to a different piece of content where previously you were overpowered and had a purpose of still being there. It wasn't trivialized content, and now you're using the stuff that you got from the other areas to try even harder, continually harder content.
Totally. So I'll give you this. I'll give you 1 point. We thought this would happen with The Division. It didn't. We're gonna wait and see. We'll see how things pan out with Anthem and their launch and everything. You're right. It could be clunky. It could just be a grind fest that we end up not enjoying that much. But I think it's going to take away a large portion of the mind share if Bungie is lazy in their next implementation of the annual pass. If it's not compelling, it's going to be this weird rift, because first you have Anthem, right? Yeah. And then you have Division. So you have a double attack basically from your competition, and they don't have the backing of Activision anymore. So their counter marketing to that is going to be a really, really interesting strategy to see.
Yeah, I think they have one more. They have one chance left, right? Or
if the next one is, hey, do this super grindy quest, and then you get a thing, an event that you can do, and then all four of the events are the same, I think the community is going to react very negatively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Sonny. I'm going to take one more call, and then we're going to take a really short break, short 10-minute break to rest my voice. Well, not rest my voice. I got to open a shaving kit box. But thanks, Sonny. I'll see you soon. Have a good night. All right, so next up, who do we got here? Mr. McGee. Mr. McGee, you there?
Yep.
Hey, how's it going? What do you think about the stream title? Is it clickbait, or are we having a good conversation tonight?
Yeah, it's. I would agree that it's a little bit clickbaity.
Little bit clickbaity. That's fine. That's fine.
You're appealing a little bit to the emotions of people that are a bit, worried.
Well, what are your thoughts, though? What are your thoughts about the topic? Because I don't think I'm being that sensational. And if people aren't thinking, I'm not saying Destiny's going to die. Destiny's going to be there, right? Just the state it's in and the type of content that we've been experiencing, I don't feel it's that compelling. And when you drop let's say it's a 50-hour experience in front of us with all these new min-maxing things. The footage that I'm showing right now is me actually going through all my components. That's going to be super compelling to people that are like Diablo fans, these open world RPG games. It has a new gameplay mechanics that people just want to get well versed in. I think Destiny's going to have some competition. So what are your thoughts, Mr. McGee? Do you think I'm smoking crack?
Well, it's always the thing with the new and shiny that it's really appealing to us. Like, we've been playing Destiny for years now.
Yes.
It's the same thing. It's the same loot, essentially, the same grinds with the same enemies. And when there's a new and shiny thing, we can always go to that and experience it. And
take a break. It's a healthy thing to do. Like, I'm definitely going to be taking a break with the Anthem. There's not really anything happening that's too alluring in Destiny. So I'll do Anthem for a while. But will it stick? That's the $1 million question, right?
Yeah, that's it's gonna be always the hit or miss thing. Like, is the end game compelling? Is the grind compelling? Is the gameplay loop compelling? It's essentially how they tweak it to define things. Because currently, in the latest demo, we had the issue with some guns just feeling straight up bad. Like the pistols, for example. They weren't so nice. And if they tweak those things, that everything, absolutely everything, feels good in the game, so that you want to use it, explore it, and play the game.
That's a really good point. One thing about the pistols, I didn't get to mess with them too much. Yeah, I tried all the weapons out a little bit, but there's one really, really compelling thing to me on the Ranger Javelin, and that is that he has this thing, Muster Point. And somebody in chat said, Muster Point's trash, don't use it. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's no way his second ability is just straight trash. So I started digging into stats a little bit. I asked BioWare, and they confirmed that Muster Point is going to stack. So now you go in with 4 javelins, you go in with a Devastator sniper, you got an 80% damage buff. I'm curious to see how much that sort of aspect is going to change the gunplay. Muster Point is specifically a gun game weapon, and we haven't found the most powerful stuff yet. So I can't wait to see what that ends up doing.
Well, with multipliers like 3,000 more health.
3,100% more health. It's going to be a rough day.
Stuff like this, I feel like it will become essential, because freezing those multipliers and all this stuff, it will just become really necessary to beat this content.
Totally. Any other points you want to make, Mr. McGee? I'm going to take a short break, do the unboxing of the shaving kit stuff really quick.
A little bit about Warframe, because I'm a ambitious Warframe player myself.
Do you play a lot?
I've been playing for 5 years now. Taking breaks here and there.
I need somebody to explain the intro game to me, because I got to like all the text and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of text.
Which intro game?
Yeah. Just like once you get started after the first few hours, it kind of like keeps explaining mechanics to you. And I'm like, I need the TLDR version.
About Warframe, it has a lot of mechanics, a lot of things to learn. Essentially, the wiki will become your best friend, and because the game is doing a terrible job at explaining things.
Yeah.
That's a big issue, and the devs are actually working at that, making new tutorial and all this stuff.
That's cool. Yeah. So what were you going to say about Warframe though? Sorry, I got excited.
The thing is, in Warframe, you can trade for the premium currency with other people. Yeah. So everything that is in the store, except for one thing, there's this Tenogen. This is where you buy skins, and those skins are made by community people.
Oh, okay.
And those are money exclusive. But this is a thing because Platinum has this thing with paying out to those content creators, and there are certain issues. But the thing is
wait, sorry, I hadn't heard about this before. Is that considered positive or negative in the community? Seems like good, right?
People generally enjoy it. They look forward to getting those skins.
Cool.
And they pay for it, and they really want them.
Great.
Because they are generally looking really good.
What if Anthem did something like that? That'd be kind of neat. Not even pay for, like, just have some sort of community hub for community skins.
Other games before that did that, like PlanetSide, where people made skins for the game and they got in and they got a cut for it. And generally people enjoy it because it supports the devs and the content creators.
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool system.
The thing about Warframe, again, you can grind the premium currency. Everything in the store that's for platinum can be farmed free to play eventually if you put enough grind in. The thing about Anthem is it also has those coins. Those coins can be earned. It's just a question of how long will you take? Can you trade for those coins?
You're completely right. You're completely right. What is the time investment versus purchase investment?
Do I have to grind 20 hours to get a texture, or do I have to grind 5 hours, or just 2 or 3 dungeons? You know, there's this thing with instant gratification. People want things. They want to feel satisfied for playing the content they play. And if they get instant gratification from a dungeon, or look, cool loot, or look, I can now buy the skin.
You're right. You're right. People want that instant gratification. They want that power fantasy. And that's what I'm saying Destiny doesn't have right now. And they haven't had for quite a while because there's no reason to do the grind per se. Besides, you get to mess around with a cool weapon for like a day. And then you realize, I don't really need this. And everything about Anthem is new. So people want to explore that aspect of it. So that's going to give them at least a few months of game time.
Like, I got my blast furnace, my god roll. I'm not ever switching off that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you having a counterpoint. I like having debates, so thanks, man.
Yo, no problem.
All right, I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
All right, guys, so real quick, I have this bounty. It's about 10 minutes long, and it is for a shaving kit, basically. And I was like, all right, well, I'll try this thing out, and if it's stupid, I won't do it. A lot of people in chat are asking about how do you call in? How can I call in and have a conversation? You hit !! Discord, and you can queue into general chat. There's a ton of people in there right now, and I'm going to be bringing people down to the chat. So real quick, we're just doing the shaving kit unboxing. It's going to take 10 minutes. That is it. Here, I'll even put a timer on the thing. Oops, 13. Start. I'll put a timer back to the thing in the thing. So I think it's browser? No. It is, what is it? Oh, it's text source, right? Text? Yeah, countdown timer. Boom. Whoops. Oh my god, I'm breaking everything. I'm trying to make my, oh my god, the text is upside down. What is happening? I'll change it to say back or something like that. I got to do this. Back to the combo in 9 minutes. All right, so real quick. Quality stream. No, I totally get it. So this is the shave kit that I got, and if you're a dude or a lady and you're looking for a good shaving product, I actually didn't think I would say this, but I actually really like this shaving kit. You get it at dollarshaveclub.com/Twitch. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Twitch. There's some stuff here that I didn't read. We make everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best. I got some stuff here. They got a little thing you can read on the toilet if you're taking a poop and you need more reading material than your phone. And then inside, it's sort of like behind this thing here, right? You got all your goodies, and they gave me some toilet wipes. These are called One Wipe Charlie's. Gentle and effective aloe vera chamomile. The civilized way to wipe. Includes one wipe. I got 3 of them. And this is $5. This is $5. I shaved this morning. I didn't cut myself too much. So this is like a faux unboxing. It comes with a hefty razor. It comes with 4 blades. So right away, and let me just show you the blades really quick if you are a guy that does shaving. I never thought I'd be unboxing a razor before. So if you're a guy that does shaving, I was actually quite impressed. I don't have my depth of field on, but it's like a, here, I'll do it the dumb way. Ugh. So you can kind of see there, it has all the different blades. It looks like 4 or 5 or 6 or something. I was really impressed like that because blades like this are really expensive. So for $5, which I thought was a good value, you can get 4 razors. You get the blade, you get the toilet wipes, you get something called shave butter. And when I put this on, I was like, oh, this isn't like frothy like my normal shaving cream. I tried shave butter and I was really scared because it has so many blades on it, but it was super smooth. And I'm super smooth today, and it was really good. So it's $5. You get all this stuff. What was the dumb bounty thing again? I gotta read. DollarShaveClub.com/Twitch. So it's a $5 deal, and the last thing that I got was body cleanser. You get body cleanser with the set, and now I have to figure out how to talk about this for 6 more minutes because for some reason this bounty is longer than I expected. So I really like shaving. I don't know if you guys like to shave. For a minimum of 10 minutes, unbox your Dollar Shave Club starter set on camera and discuss with your viewers. Please refer to the suggested talking points here. Oh, there's talking points I'm supposed to bring up. Here are the copy points. Do you shower? I'll just do it. I'll just do it in the voice. Seeing I got like 6 more minutes. Do you shower? No, that's too much. That's too much. Do you shower? Do you brush your teeth? Do you go to the bathroom? Thought so. Well, guys, I am stoked to say that I am partnering with the Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club has everything you will ever need to get ready. Toothpaste, hair gel, shampoo, even butt wipes. Essentially, if you have a body, they have you covered. Not only do they ship them right to your house, but the more you buy, the more you save. They're going to be sending me some product to try out over the next few days. So stay tuned or visit dollarshaveclub.com/Twitch to check out the $5 special offer they have right now. Oh my goodness, I'm going to go there today. I'm a super relatable streamer, everybody. No bullshit though. Talking points aside that I have to read, I'm really impressed with this razor. I might become a regular user, and if you're looking for a good price on razors, I don't know if it's a temporary thing, but a $5 deal for 4 razors of this quality is pretty dope. I think I spend like $30 on blades normally. TM Falgrim, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate it, man. James Duggan's texting me shit talk. Shill. Show us how you shave, buddy. Yeah, go to full screen for me, baby. Thanks, Duggan. I appreciate you watching the show. I'm glad my friends are there to give me shit. It's there's a deal where you can just get a $5 package. I don't know if it's $30 a month. $30 a month. I haven't looked up what you get with that. Maybe you get like the God tier package or something. I'm not sure. Oh, wow. We still have 4 more minutes to go. Let's look up commercials for Dollar Shave Club. Maybe I can find some commercials online. The only thing I don't like about the Twitch bounties is I just did a fucking awesome job of talking about their product, and I'm honest about it because I actually like it. I have calls I want to get back to, but now I have to figure out a way to continue talking about Dollar Shave Club for 4 minutes. Here's a commercial that has 25 million views that's going to help me fill about 1:34 of time. That is the minimum required time that I have to talk about Dollar Shave Club. Ogre Boy, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you, man. So here's a guy talking about their razors, so I don't have to for a little bit. There's no audio. Let's restart it.
For $1 a month, Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think
this commercial's awesome?
Handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
That commercial's great. Why doesn't everybody make commercials like that? Hey, seeing I have 2 minutes to fill, let's watch it again.
DollarShaveClub.com. What is Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades and aloe vera lubricating strip and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you.
I love this part. He fucking misses totally.
We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
This commercial makes me want to shave many things, Punk Face says. It's really good, right, man? Anyway, yeah, so they sent me some razors. I actually really like the razors. Work to Game, thank you for the host. Jake HD, thank you for the 500-bit cheer. TM Felgrim, you gifted a sub to Felix, so Felix, welcome to the freaking club, man. AZN Xbox, 100-bit cheer. Tell me more about that reading material for doing number 2. That's the deal breaker. Well, thanks, guys, for tuning in and letting me do that commercial. We're going to get back to Anthem talk here. I'll just queue up the next clip that I have.
Found the relic.
Stars have done something to it. It's gone volatile.
Appreciate you guys. I asked you guys a few weeks ago if you were okay with me doing this. Chat universally said, yeah, we don't care. So I was like, no, they said, get effing paid was their actual rate. So thank you guys for supporting me, watching on the channel. And Andrew54, thanks for the sub. LG Nemesis, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. Let's get it going. Desktop audio is a little loud. I have turned it down now. All right, so sorry about the too much game volume. We're going to get back to the conversation. Basically, the point I was trying to make is that I feel like the Destiny crew should be a little bit worried. Not us. Like, you can still play it at your leisure, or you can leave it beside the wayside while you check out Anthem. But I think Anthem has a really, really big chance to grasp the audience. Oh, this gameplay clip's real bad. I apologize, everybody. Anthem has a really, really big chance to grasp the audience. And one of the things we're going to be talking about on Freelancer Chat this Friday is, oh my God, this is going to be embarrassing if we watch this whole thing, is about the PvP conversation. If somebody calls in and talks about that, I'll talk about it on the show today. We can talk about it again on Freelancer Chat later. But let's bring in Loxy. I see Loxy sitting back there. And if I could figure out, can I drop her down? Move to Doug's. Hey, Loxy, you there? Loxy. All right, we're going to bring somebody else down. We'll bring down Philly Cave. Philly Cave can be moved to Doug's. Oh, Loxy, you there?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Oh, hey. Philly Cave, you got to wait a sec. So what I'll do is I'll start you in the top chat in general. I'll bring you down to raid. That means you're on next, and then I'll bring you into the main chat. So, Loxy, you want to argue with me? And yes, feel free to call me a shill now, because I know I am. How's it going?
Yeah, man. Terrible. I can't really agree or disagree to a large degree.
Okay. Thanks for calling. Okay. It's great to talk to you again, and I appreciate. Just kidding. No, what do you mean? Elaborate.
Well, so going all the way back from Destiny Alpha, Destiny Beta, right? Mm-hmm. We loved it. Got all your teams together, your friends together, and then it was so special when you got into raids.
Totally agree.
Everyone moved into Crucible, PvP for Endgame, but after that, we moved into Destiny 2. For me, the game feels very different, and the messages were the same we'd heard for 3 years or so.
We're listening. Hey, sorry, it's fixed. We're working on it. The story's fixed. Yeah.
Exactly. So then the Division comes around, a few months before Rise of Iron. And that shows us a different way to do loot grind, mods, components, that kind of good stuff. Mm-hmm. Anthem offers that freshness that the Division, right? Mm-hmm. And so the games play very different. My biggest thing, really, which I kind of want to open for debate is...
Got it.
What is the rest for Destiny? With Bungie now being independent, their turnover of new scheduled content, and what will Anthem's schedule of content? We kind of have a bit of a roadmap for the Division, with them giving their season for the first year. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my query is, what comes next for people like everyone on your that consumes content rapidly, wants to get involved? I'm skeptical that Bungie can deliver unless they get new partners. Like with, I don't have faith in them turning around, because they've really in what are we at, 4 years now with Destiny content?
We're pretty far in. Yeah. 4 years since D1.
Yeah, they've had the Taken King and Forsaken, which have really, for me, in my opinion, been the only good content additions since launch.
Really? Well, I think Rise of Iron was pretty cool. Introduced a new raid. Short, story-wise, it was interesting. But the problem with Destiny is they introduce these amazing story things, and then they're just gone. Then nothing freaking happens, and they never revisit it. What happened with the Iron Lords? What happened with Siva? I don't fucking know, because they never addressed that story again. And that's an incredibly frustrating thing about the Destiny franchise. Remember Anna Bray? Barely touched on again. Introduced the last DLC before Forsaken. That's it. And that's it. That's the time you get with those people. And they do a really poor job of developing everything in silos. And it's a complaint I brought up on the show before, which thankfully they have slowly begun working on with Forsaken and the stuff they've been doing with the Queen, which has been pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I've kind of dropped off Forsaken in terms of getting that way through like the corruption and all that kind of storyline with the Queen coming back, just because of lack of interest, really. Like I got to like 570 and I'm kind of mulling around. I do a bounty or two a day, but really I'm going back. I'm excited for Anthem and the Division 2 coming on, but I don't see, to your point earlier, I can acquire all these weapons or do all these quests, but I don't have escalating challenges to use them or gear that's going to give me boons or boosts in those higher events. Like the examples of Diablo increasing the greater rifts is perfect. I made that in chat earlier tonight. Final Fantasy 14.
Final Fantasy 14 did it really well. Final Fantasy 14 is a great MMO.
Superb.
One of your other points I want to talk about really quick is that you brought up the fact that Anthem doesn't have a roadmap, and that's actually an excellent counterpoint to my conversation about why Destiny should be worried. I think Destiny has a counterpoint. My girlfriend's cleaning the house, so she's making loud noises back there. So it's a really good counterpoint because we actually don't know what the Anthem roadmap is, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're either developing that or going to be announcing that. Like, it seems like they've been hinting about these plans that they have and how they're going to support it in the end, and I'm really, really excited by that. Bungie has sort of hinted, and they've shown their roadmap. They showed what it's going to be coming soon, and it includes stuff like Crimson Days, Iron Banner, a new 6-player activity, and I worry that a lot of that stuff on there isn't particularly compelling for on the Destiny side, and that's going to be a problem.
For sure. I think the problem with events like that is they are...
Coogan says Dev stated in Reddit that there will be a roadmap discussed on or before 2/22. So
okay, that's
on
cool.
the way for Anthem.
That's cool. Yeah. So that's good to see. And how fans see kind of, is it annual pass, season pass? Is it once a month, once a quarter kind of rollout? But just on the points about, very briefly, like things like the Dawning Crimson Days, I think they put it seems from the outside looking in, they put a lot of dev resources, time and effort to produce these high quality visual experiences. Content can be a little lacking in terms of loop rewards and how enjoy is after the event. But then they have all this content in there which they don't take advantage of. Factions, like I think it's fair to say Destiny 1 factions, Dead Orbit, New Monarchy, the Cryptarch, those ranking systems and reward systems, they've never been matched in D2. And now we've just got empty dormant spaces in the tower. However, with that said, I think if you look at something like Anthem, do we have anything like that where there is some group or alliance that you can rely upon and invest in, so that it isn't
like
just
a clan?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. So twofold: a clan with you and your, and also an in-game faction type of group that you want to go for, rather than just the people of Fort Tarsis. And I know there's something called alliances, but
I can actually answer that question. We sort of touched on it in the Fort Tarsis walkthrough. There are characters that you can sort of align with and help out, and you help them sort of regrow their stature as such.
Oh, okay,
but,
wow.
But beyond that, I don't know how much I can say. But we did see that during the Fort Tarsis walkthrough. And a lot of people probably just missed it. Yeah, they also touched on it in their live stream a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to hear more about that. So yes, that mechanic is in there. And they do have some sort of community mechanic. I don't want to call it clans, but they have something in that vein where you're rewarded for playing with your friends, I believe is how they stated it.
Yeah, I actually received that as part of the demo. So when I did actually get in on that Saturday, I went in there, did some free play with a friend, got booted out, and when I logged back in, I had a message on that screen, the welcome screen, as you reload back in, and it said, hey, there's a message, you've got 2,000 Alliance XP and that kind of thing. Wasn't fully active, but it was that message, so that's cool. Anyway, just before I go, Destin, very briefly, like my interest open for debate is, the roadmap, what does the content look like? With Destiny being the established kind of heir of the throne of all of these looter shooters at the moment, how is that going to keep its level of frequency for updates, or will that diminish, or are we going to go back to, hey, here's Taken King, 18 months later, here's Rise of Iron?
So you're not even asking specifically about Anthem. You're just saying Anthem and Destiny. What are both franchises going to do? Because right now, I get what you're saying. Right now, Destiny is sort of in this lull, and people are wondering about that. And Anthem, people are like, hey, did you nail this aspect, or are we going to burn through your content in 40, 100 hours? And I know that sounds crazy to say 100 hours we're going to burn through it, but that's what the community is. That's the reality of it for people, We tear through it. I did my Forsaken review in like a week and a half or something like that, or whenever the raid came out. So the raid came out, and I had the review done, and I gave it a 9. And Forsaken is an excellent piece of content. The problem is, after 100 hours or so, I'm done with that content, and I'm done with the first piece of the annual pass, and I have nothing to chase and no reason to do any of the content in the game. Usually, it has to be circular, right? If I'm going to go run a raid, I need to know that I need that piece of gear to beat Skolas, or I need that piece of gear to min-max against this other thing because I want this other gun that I can then use in PvP or then use in Trials, and that doesn't exist anymore in Destiny 2. So,
I know, man. That King's Fall raid gear, when those perks were on there and you were going for that piece with those boons, and then, you know, if Anthem has gear sets, which I think it was one of the devs on Twitter, they were saying that gear sets is something they're looking into. That's awesome. But like the Division does that for me so well. Diablo does it so well. So, you know, shove that in our games. Everyone's asking for it. They're hungry for it. They love boosts. They love, give me 4 or 5 pieces of equipment that have a harmony and a synergy together. And then, you know, we've got all this combo powers. So take full advantage.
LG in chat said something about Endgame coming tomorrow. Do you have a quote on that so we can talk about it? Gear sets would be great. Yeah. So LG is saying that we're going to get some Endgame news tomorrow. I don't know if that's from BioWare or from some other source. So LG, let me know in chat. Destin, you are being an awful teammate. Why? I'm the Storm. I'm supposed to fly and support. I'm not being that awful. LG Nemesis says he has a screenshot.
All right. Thank you for your time, Destin.
Thank you so much, Loxy. Really, really good points. Really good questions. That's the kind of thinking. That's the kind of thinking I love to do. So I appreciate your call, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
And you, mate. Thank you.
Later. All right. So Paris has been sitting there. Let's see if Paris is ready to go. Paris, you there?
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Hey, not much. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good evening. Well, what do you want to talk about tonight? You want to talk about a little Anthem? You want to talk a little about Destiny? You want to talk a little Smack?
Well, I want to talk. I want to talk about both.
All right.
When because I did play the VIP demo both on console and on PC, and I got to thinking about what makes me come back to Destiny, because I can agree that it's not all that great, but I'm still going to go home tonight and play it, and I'm trying to figure out why. And I found it really has Destiny, yeah. And it has to do with 2 main things.
Okay.
One is the overall gameplay feedback, gameplay loop.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yep.
And the other is the, I guess, personal, emotional investment with the story, the characters, and being able to see this world progress.
Okay.
And as it currently sits, the gameplay is getting a little stale, and there's almost non-existent investment in what's going on.
That's a good point.
So that really leads me to think, hopefully, I mean, definitely with playing with Anthem, the gameplay loop is there. It's great. We only got a little bit of a taste of the story, but I can already say that I'm already invested. I want to know what happened. And that's really putting me in the position where I'm probably going to put Destiny down for a while.
Yeah. And I think that's largely how I've been feeling about Destiny. I'm not quite sure what I'm chasing or why I'm doing it. I don't have a connection to any of the quests. Like, we're doing these forges, but because I don't have the narrative attachment to Ada, beyond the stuff that I read online. By the way, it's absolutely ridiculous that you have to do one specific forge, probably my least favorite of all the forges. And the fastest way to get all that lore unlocked, to do it the organic way, is by failing that forge over and over again. That's just, come on.
That incentivizes bad gameplay.
Yeah, and then there's, oh, here we go. So LG Nemesis, Anthem, endgame difficulty and content, premieres in 15 hours, February 1st, 11 a.m. I don't know what channel this is, but somebody linked to me. So apparently there's something about Endgame coming around the corner, and we'll have to check that out and see what's going on. Who knows? Absolutely.
I mean, even
I definitely don't know.
We don't know what the end game is. If they give me
check out IGN.com tomorrow at 8 a.m.
But even in a position where I don't know what that end game looks like, I'm still excited. I'm still already pre-invested. They have my attention.
Yeah, for Anthem.
Yes.
And that's the problem. So Destiny, they had Forsaken. The end game just kind of not too much going on, right? After you did the raid, there was the whole raid divide conversation. I like that it was more difficult, but yeah. And then secondarily, they had the first Black Armory come out, and for the most part, people either couldn't access the forges, and then the loop wasn't enjoyable for the majority of the people. And I think, I mean, you can take my word for it. You can take my word for it, or you can just go look at the Twitch numbers right now. Let's do it together. Let's see how Destiny's doing. By the way, the stream is under Anthem, and it's probably one of my most viewed streams organically. It has 8.8 thousand viewers, and this is really concerning for me to see. It's almost tied with Magic, about 1,000 viewers difference. Old school RuneScape, for some reason, why has old school RuneScape been beating Destiny?
Some things never die.
Yeah, like RuneScape's up there, Smash is up there, I get that. Elder Scrolls Online, Rainbow Six Siege, Dead by Daylight, Minecraft, music and performance arts, Hearthstone, Sea of Thieves, Counter-Strike, and then you get into the big guys like Uno, who's trouncing. They're absolutely trouncing Destiny. Resident Evil 2 is above Destiny. Destiny isn't dead. There's still a player base there. There's still people signing on. But the problem is there's nothing exciting to watch right now. There's no conversations being had amongst the community about like what weapons you need for what to do this fun encounter that people enjoy. And it is the probably worst route I have seen in Destiny in a while. And that's why I think they should be worried, because again, and I'm reiterating this, I know I've said it a lot during the stream, they have Anthem right around the corner and people are thirsty for a little bit of that Anthem goodness. And even if it bombs, that's going to have the mind share for quite a while, right? For probably at least a month or so. People are going to be like, oh, how's EA going to fuck this up? How are they going to ruin it? And then right around the corner, we have the Division 2. So you have 2 months of competitors that people are going to be looking at. And what have you been giving your core base up until then? Repetitive, grindy, boring quest structure.
The most interesting thing that's happened in Destiny in the past month is the Aldrin surprise. And they haven't even developed it. That is the most interesting thing, and that's not even that relevant to what's going on.
Yeah, they did the Aldrin surprise, and then Marasov had some new context, and then nothing happened. So, like, is it a setup for Destiny 3? I don't think it's a setup for Season of the Drifter. Maybe we'll get another cutscene or something, but yeah. Off the top of your head, Paris, do you remember when Season of the Drifter starts?
No. End of February, I believe.
Using the power of Google, I'll check it out. Let's find out.
March 5th.
Destiny 2 DLC guide. US Gamers got our back. And IGN.com, of course. So February 5th is Crimson Days. The same weekend of March. It doesn't come out until March.
There's nothing to do.
You're right.
I've done everything there is to do.
Here's what fills that gap. Crimson Days and Iron Banner. That's what we get until March, guys.
Yay, so
they're just leaving the playing field open for Anthem for that whole month, and then in March we got Division also competing for my interest and my mind share. Sure, there's 2 exotic quests, it looks like. We got Joker's Wild Weekly Quest, Joker's Wild Weapons and Gear. There's stuff to do in Destiny, but it all comes down to that question of why are you going to chase this stuff? Is it?
You can give me a grind, but it's not compelling.
Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you, Paris, for calling in. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm going to take another call. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening and enjoy watching the show. Thanks, man. All right. I would love to hear somebody who disagrees. So if you're still in chat on Twitch, I am watching Twitch chat over at twitch.tv/the Destin channel. If you're watching on one of the other platforms, chat was just kind of going crazy because we have 1,334 people watching. So head on over to twitch.tv/the Destin channel and you can be a part of the conversation. When you're over there, yes, this is live. I'm live. I'm speaking to you live. The gameplay is a VOD. And yes, I am taking questions live and you can call in. You hit ! Discord, you queue up in the Discord, and I will bring you down into the show. We're going to try Undertone next. It'll be a surprise when it happens. So get ready. Undertone. You have an X in front of your name, so you're at the bottom of the list. Are you there? He is not there. He doesn't want to talk to me. All right. TS Hawks, I see you are deafened. Are you available to chat with me?
Hello.
All right. I feel like this is going to be a counterpoint, and I would love to hear it. What do you got?
I think, wait, a counterpoint to what the Destiny should worry, or Destiny fans should worry or not worry?
Whether or not they should worry, do you think I'm being sensational? Do you think that Destiny's going to be totally fine? Like, don't worry about it. It's going to be great. What are your thoughts?
I don't think they should worry. I think it should be like I probably will play Anthem, but basically like content will come out for Destiny. I'll just go back to it. So,
yeah, so you don't mind. You have the philosophy of I'm going to take a break. I'm going to check out Anthem, and when Destiny has content, I'll go back to Destiny. Basically, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Because I love the world of Destiny, so I'll just like when there is content drops, I'll play other games and then go back to it.
Yep.
That's basically it.
I totally understand that, and I think that's just a healthy thing to do as a gamer. My concern is, and maybe worry was a little bit of a harsh word to choose for the stream title, but I do think that there is going to be a mindshare shift towards these other games, because if they have a good enough loop and Destiny doesn't have a compelling reason to chase that next power level, people are just going to be like, well, why? I can just watch the 5 streamers that are playing Destiny and do incredibly well at the game, complete the raid and go through that grind, and I can cheer them on from the sidelines. But that's also dangerous, because then no one's playing the game.
That is true, yeah. To be honest, I think it evolves around the stories, basically. Like
Aldrin, yeah.
Kinda. I'm talking about Anthem as well. Like both, like whatever story's more compelling to me, I'll play that game.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. I wasn't a huge fan.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of Andromeda. It was fine. I liked the story of setting up a new thing, but it didn't resonate with me the same way the other Mass Effects did. I'm not going to say it was total trash or make fun of the Faces Tired thing.
Yeah.
They addressed a lot of that stuff, but it should have launched I'll just say it should have launched in a better state, and it really, really hurt them. So now everybody is blaming EA, hoping that BioWare doesn't fail, and thinking like, oh, if they don't get this right, they're going to be gone. I don't know that that's the case. They have Dragon Age in the works.
They got Dragon Age, yeah.
They have other properties in the way, but that's a sensationalist headline that's more exciting to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So, time will tell. Thank you, TSOX. Do you have a final point that you'd like to make?
One more point. I was going to say, Destiny's an FPS. I love FPS, basically. Like that's the difference, I think. I think when Anthem comes out, I'll play loads of it, but when the season of the Drifter comes around, I'll just go back to Destiny. Just stay on Destiny, really.
You're going to no life it, huh?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to no life Anthem. I hope the grind stays as good as it has been, learning the different javelins, getting the different gear, and creating the different builds.
Yeah.
Thank you, TS Hawks, for calling in.
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad that when I go back to Destiny, if I take a break, that I'm going to have friends online playing too.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, have a great evening. Talk to you later.
You too. Cheers.
All right, so who else do we have? We have Colin MX1. Let's bring him down. He seems like I knew a Colin who loved to argue. So let's see how Colin MX1 is doing. Colin, how are you? Did you call in to troll me or to talk, or do you even have a microphone? No microphone for Colin. I'll drop you into Raid Boys if I see you talking. I'll pop you back in here. We have Wooju Boy. Wooju Boy, how are you doing? 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how's it going? The title of the stream tonight is Why Destiny Should Worry About Anthem, basically. Sort of organized differently in the headline structure, but that's the basic gist of it. What do you think? Do you think there's any concern there? How are you feeling about the state of Destiny? What did you want to call in and talk about today?
Okay, so I definitely feel like they need to be concerned because of what you were saying earlier. Content drought. We're not getting anything till, you said, March?
Correct.
Yeah.
Sorry, wait.
We've done everything.
There's Crimson Days. There's Crimson Days.
But nothing new.
I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. No new content. So this is what I feel like Destiny's missing that it used to have. When was the last time you went to the tower and you saw somebody and you was like, oh man, what is that?
Yeah, I
need that, you know?
I don't think that's ever happened.
Not in Destiny 2, right?
Yeah,
but in Destiny 1, the gear was crazy, right? So now Anthem comes out, there's new gear, new everything, new customizations, new systems to learn,
new min-maxing. Yeah,
new min-maxing, all the gear, new customizations. Everything looks super dope. Yeah, I think that's everybody's attention for now.
Yeah,
and to be honest, I feel like Destiny 1 had, to me, worse content drops.
Yeah,
it's just that you had stuff like trials and stuff like that to keep people coming back over the weekend.
Totally. I would chase, my my god rolls on my ARs from trials. I would want the full trials set, and those were coveted items. You got that cutscene, and you could only watch the cutscene if you went flawless in trials. And then
everybody wasn't getting that.
You got the weird lady now that gives you tokens or whatever.
You just don't have the same feeling. So I completely agree that Bungie should be worried, and I feel like Forsaken to me was the best DLC they've ever came out with.
It was great.
It was a slam, and then they just needed to follow it up with something similar and just build on what if they had just built on what they already had with Forsaken instead of just dripping us the content and the not fun grind having to do it on 3 characters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to just be switching through javelins when I want to try something new. That makes me want to play more when I could just I want to try the new supers, or this new stuff in the new forges, but I have to do this stupid grind all over again.
Yeah. Oh, I've been rolling through on my Ranger. I got a really cool build with my Ranger, but I'm feeling a little bored. Oh, I can pop right into another class. I don't have to grind through the story again, and I can learn all the new mechanics of this new class without having to do the repetition involved with it, because the loots are cross-character, something that Destiny actually tried. But this just seems like such a smart implementation of that strategy.
Smoother. And it's a different experience. You get you experience it different. The way you play with the big javelin and the interceptor, those are completely different. So you can get a different experience if you want it without a boring chore. Like that's kind of what made the story. That's for a certain time I was asking, I don't really need story in Destiny. It's not a story game. For a while I was saying that, which is not true. But the fact that I had to do it 3 times, like the full story. Yeah, it was just I felt like it was just too much, man. I like the system better. So it's something new. We'll check it out. We'll go back to Destiny. If they don't deliver, then Anthem wins. You get that consumer, and they stick with Anthem, and that's how it is.
I'll say this: it is a super exciting time. A little bit scary for Destiny, because like if they have another bad miss, it's just kind of like, I don't want to see Destiny go away. I love the game. We've been doing a show about it for 2 years. And I don't hate the game. I don't want it to fail, but Bungie needs to get it together.
Yeah.
Because Destiny 2, for the most part, has been fairly lackluster, and a lot of people are sort of feeling that content drought. I see comments all the time on Fireteam Chat. Haven't played for 3 months. Still watch the show all the time. Still showing you support. And if you are watching on Fireteam Chat tonight, I do appreciate those of you that watch us so that we can sort of have these conversations. And a lot of people look to me like, hey, is it time to come back to Destiny yet? The answer is no, not right now. There's not really anything going on. And
I really did. I'm a raid guy. I've always raided, but it's just I can't even, bring myself to get like a good 10 completions on the new raid. I don't know. It's just I don't see a reason to it. None of the gear looks different than anything anybody else has.
It looks kind of like Spire Stars gear, doesn't it?
Right. It's just the same. If it looked crazy, like the ornament set on like Wrath of the Machine and those gear sets we had in D1, okay, yeah, I would do it, and I would help my entire clan get it too, because they would want it. They would want those gear, but nobody wants it, so nobody plays it. So
totally agree, man. I've done that raid twice, and I'm just like, all right, so it gives me high level gear, but you can just get it by doing your dailies or weeklies, right?
Exactly. And basically, nothing special.
Yeah, nothing special. And now they're trying to throttle the grind. They're like, oh, you can't stack this, you can't stack that anymore. You have to like go through it organically. And I'm like,
the funnest part, the min-maxing.
So you're taking away the only min-maxing that we have in Destiny right now? You're taking away our strategization for new content drops? Like,
and to the previous guy's point, the Division does that really well. The min maxing and that gear sets. Oh, that's incredible, yo. That grind, it keeps you grinding for a long time, yo. Just to get the synergy between your equipment and Destiny. They kind of started doing that with Forsaken. I feel like with the new systems they introduced, updates to the mod system, but with Black Army, the new mods they dropped. What are we really chasing? I mean,
exactly.
Page mod?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
come on. Nothing exciting, yo. I feel like that's what they're missing.
They're like, we're gonna break our game and see how it goes. I'm like, well, you broke PvP, so that's not really fun.
Yeah.
You broke PvP. You took away trials. You don't really have a compelling gear drop. Your gear sets for Iron Banner this semester look sort of like they did last time, but like with a worse skin on it. There's just nothing to chase for
the
me.
reskins already killed the game as well, yeah. How much complaining do people have to do? That's the main complaint to me about all gear that comes out is reskin. Everybody say reskin. So
I would argue that it's good when people are complaining and complaining passionately. It's bad when they become complacent and just say they're not going to get it together. And my scary thought, sorry, I phrased that poorly. But anyway, the thing I'm worried about is that so many people feel that way and they're just like, I'm done. I got this game where I'm a flying spaceman in a mech suit, Iron Man being a badass, dominating the battlefield. Yeah. Oh, do I want to play that or do I want to get a pair of boots to hit 650?
Yeah, man, you need that cool factor, yo.
Yeah,
that's what you need.
Well, hey, thank you, Wuju Boy. I really appreciate the conversation, and I kind of like this. I like having people call in, and I appreciate you being nice and a cool dude.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, have a wonderful rest of your evening. All right, so wow, we have a lot of people queued up in chat. I'm going to take a few more, and I think all of us are sort of excited about whatever that mystery thing is tomorrow. Who knows what that's going to be? I don't know. If anything happens, I know we'll cover it on IGN.com, though. But it is definitely a mystery. That was mysterious. I have a few more calls. I'm going to take a few more calls there, and then, of course, the live beta is going to be on tomorrow. Jay, you have been waiting the whole time. I brought you in originally, but your mic was off, so I'll bring you in now and get you queued up. Here you go. Jay, I saw you. You were like one of the first people to call in, and your mic was messed up. I brought you in, but what's up,
yeah,
dude? How's it going?
Good. So I actually called Gerardo. I actually lashed out on Twitter a little bit in the beginning when
totally
you tweeted
fine.
that.
Totally fine. Let's have a conversation about it.
On the Protheon account, I was like, why can't we play both?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want to come in here saying. Destiny, as we know, have dry, boring content. Like, look at Taken King between, November till April when they had the April update. I think it's okay and healthy to still play both of these games. And we're also talking, the 30 people that are waiting to be chosen by you. We've been having a conversation and we're talking about Anthem and how there's not going to be any paid DLC. And we're debating if that's a good thing, bad thing, what's going on. And there's some good conversations being brought up. Does that just mean there's going to be content that's locked and also time gated, similar to how the annual pass is going, or how it's going to?
Well, they said for the content, sorry, you're kind of cutting out, so I'll just say real quick. They did say about the content that it's going to be available for free to everybody, the same way that the Division's trying to do it. Anything beyond that, cosmetics and such, are going to be paid for. And I think they sort of said maybe something about javelins, like introducing new javelins at some point, and those might cost something. And me personally, I feel okay with that. How do you feel, Jay? Are you there still, or do your mic cut out?
Yeah, hopefully you can still hear me.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that does sound awesome. Just like the new gameplay style, because I think that's something Destiny is lacking, is the 3 classes are old in a way.
Yeah.
So I do think like new javelins would be interesting. I do think, though, like I was saying, that the mix between Destiny and Anthem I think could work, and I don't think that there is a strict one or the other, and I think you know that too, because you're a big Destiny fan, you're Anthem. So I do hope that Anthem does well, because kind of like what you guys were saying on Fireteam Chat, I don't know, it was last week or two, competition's good.
Yes.
And I think that could really show for these.
Definitely. I totally agree. Competition is good. And you're right. There can be both games. I think worry might have been the incorrect word when I was doing the title of this stream. I think there might have been a better descriptor. But what I'm concerned, or the concern that I'm trying to bring up, is that mind share sacrifice that's going to happen, because we're in a content drought for Destiny, right? Anthem's going to come out, and I think it's going to have a large part of the mind share, for better or for worse, for at least 2 weeks. And if they nail it and it's compelling and good, they're going to pull away a large chunk of the audience, I think, because it's just so tonally similar. I know you're a space robot wizard man in Anthem, and in Destiny, you're a warlock space wizard man, and it's a first-person shooter. But I think, like, if the next piece of content comes out and it's just like Gambit maps or something, or some sort of shift on the Gambit perspective, people will check it out, but maybe they're going to hop into Anthem and stay in that content loop a little bit longer. Fuwei, that's actually a good title suggestion. He said why Destiny needs to up their game. I agree. That one would have been pretty good. I like that. Fuwei, can I steal that for an article? I might take that one. That one's really good. Yeah, Jay.
I do have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I do have one more thing to say. Is I remember I guess a year ago by now, you actually had a similar stream to this, pissed off at Destiny. It was like War My Day. I don't know if you remember this.
When I wrote the rant.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I do. Yeah.
I was tuning into that one, and we saw Destiny in an awful spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then Forsaken came, and it totally changed everything 180.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what Bungie has in store for this upcoming September, and if it will compete with Anthem, or maybe they'll have just two totally different, like Anthem always stay February big releases, or however EA plans on handling that. But yeah, the hope for these two games, like their success, is very strong, and I'm excited.
Imagine this. What if Anthem's fucking great, Division's fucking great, and Destiny gets their shit together for the next annual pass expansion? We all win. We just have to choose how to separate our time. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is just like, I don't feel the first piece of annual pass content was particularly compelling, and I was overall pretty disappointed in it, and my review stated why, about the repetitive grind and such, and that stayed true all the way through the last word. So I don't feel I need to update the score or anything. I hope that Season of the Drifter, they had more time to sort of work out the kinks and such.
And feedback.
And get that feedback. I've heard that they had another community summit where like 5 people showed up or something, maybe, because they tweeted about it publicly. I don't get invited to those things, so yeah.
It's because you hate Destiny. You hate it.
Yeah, probably. I think it's because, like, I'm not just gonna sit there and be quiet. I'll ask Bungie the tough questions, and I've always done that. I've done that when they had Activision PR sitting in the room when they're not, and they just tell me, we're not talking about that today. And I'm like, that's fine. I did my job in asking a question about why the fuck are Xbox exclusives a year long. You know, you can tell me not to ask that question, but that hurts the Destiny community. I'm part of that community, and they expect me to be their voice. So I try and do my best and ask those tough questions. Not Angry Joe style, but like respectfully, but I'm going to ask the tough questions, you know?
Yeah, and that's actually something, like, at least for me, like, I thank you for that. Like, that's actually why I team to fire team chat all the time. Like, you do that stuff, and the community does appreciate that, because some people, lack of a better term, have the balls to say stuff like that, or to say things how they are. And like, you complaining of faction rallies, totally justifiable.
Yeah.
Looting lost sectors over and over again.
Yeah. Not a fun gameplay loop. And it's just nuts to me that they run into these problems, because I'm like, hey, like, I'm just a player of your game. You guys made this whole fantastical world filled with warlocks, hunters, and guardians, and the traveler that came from another planet. And how are you not able to make a compelling quest structure? Like, it just baffles me. And that's why I get mad more than anything. I love Destiny, and I see the potential there. And the frustration comes from looking at what they're creating and just wondering like, hey, you're like a developer I really, really admire and look up to. What is going on? And that's really the question that I usually have during these missions.
Do you think they're like stuck in this awful quest-based system based off of how Destiny 2 was just built as a whole? Because I feel like Lost Sectors thrown in, and I hate doing them. Like I feel like everything's Lost Sector. Like with the Last Word quest, 15 Lost. Do you think it's just
you're right
off of how Destiny's built, like right now?
You know, I put my call out on Twitter and I said, hey, here's a few better quest suggestions. And people are like, that's not better. It's just the same thing. And if you start breaking down the systems and the things that they have available to work with, it's not too much. So I think you might be right. I just think that, like, this is what we have. This is what we're able to do for a quest. And, yeah, that's a tough spot to be in for them.
Hopefully, either the next big thing that they plan on releasing or Destiny 3, if that ever comes along, hopefully it's built a different way where these quests can be more. And if those leaks that were, who knows if they're really leaks, if with the MMO, they're shifting to more of a RPG.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's true, that has a lot more potential. But right now, as the game's built, there's not much they could really do.
Mm-hmm. Orbital Wing says, more and more I find myself groaning words to the effect of, you have over 700 employees. What are you doing? I don't know if it's 700. I think it's like 500. Do they have on their website? Like, it's a lot of people. They have a huge team. And, yeah, just talking about, like, they got the $100 million and leaving Activision. And I'm really glad I did that piece for IGN where I'm just like, hey, like, you think them leaving Activision is going to solve all their problems? It's really not. It's really, really not going to. It's going to be a difficult road for them. They have so many puzzles to solve for.
Yeah, I think the whole Activision leaving is more not PR, like it boosts their, like that was the whole article. It was all a week.
Yeah, exactly. Cred. Yeah,
exactly. That's how you phrase it.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. I appreciate you calling in. I think I'm going to take like one or two more calls tonight. I can feel my voice starting to go, and I have to do Fire Team Chat tomorrow and then Freelancer Chat on Sunday. AK Detroit wants to talk PvP, so I'll talk to him next. But first, Jay, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
Yeah, thank you very much. You too.
Talk to you soon. Bye. All right. We're going to grab AK Detroit. He's ready. I got to use this move button. Move to Doug's. Hey, AK Detroit, you said you want to talk PvP. Let's talk PvP. There's two ways you could go with this, and I want to hear both. Let's hear it.
Yes, I'm glad you wanted to have this conversation because it's a really big part of the reason that Anthem is and isn't competing with Destiny. Mm-hmm. In the PvE space, I definitely see Anthem as a competitor in a big way, mm-hmm. but it has no PvP. That is a huge portion of Destiny's player base that Anthem has no draw for. That's why when I see arguments like this, mm-hmm. I always say nothing is an anything killer. Mm-hmm. And we've seen this in the MMO space over the past couple of years. Oh man, dude, going back to things like Rift. I don't know if you've ever heard of Rift. Oh man, yeah. Rift is going to kill WoW. Rift is a WoW killer. WildStar is going to kill WoW.
Yeah.
Nothing is an anything killer. And I think people need to realize that before they jump on hype trains. Not that everyone's, just mindless. Mm-hmm. But going even past Anthem, the Division 2 definitely is competing in the PvP space.
Correct.
Because they heard a lot of the complaints that people had in the Division 1. I don't know if you've played PvP.
They separated the Dark Zone into 3 zones. You don't have to go and kill everybody, but if you want to, you have that. They have traditional PvP modes that you can enjoy. They got a lot of good stuff going on with Division 2.
Yeah, and importantly, they really listened. The PvP into the Division 1 was a train wreck. I don't know if you ever played it, but you could literally use skills to heal from 0 to 100, like 4 times in 10 seconds. The time to kill was a mess, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And a big problem is we're seeing Destiny 2 slip into pitfalls like that in PvP. Whether it's things like shotguns, one-eyed mask. One-eyed mask is such an obvious issue in the game, whether or not anyone agrees with it, but it's been in the game for 7 months. How that exotic got through playtesting, I have no idea. I main Titan, so I know how horrible it is. For the sake of other people, I don't use it in quick play.
Yeah.
So, what was I saying?
Well, I do have a counterpoint to your thing. You brought up
Sure.
nothing is an anything killer, and that's a really good quote. I would argue I don't think Anthem needs PvP, and I'm glad you brought up the challenges that Destiny is facing with PvP. I think the PvP in Destiny 2 is kind of crappy right now. CJ really likes it, though. I'm not a big PvP guy, but I felt compelled to play Trials, even though that I suck at PvP, and get better. There is no Trials. There is nothing to chase in PvP that I care about. There are counters to all those weapons that you spent months going for. And I believe it was like season 1. Oh yeah, that's what we got at Team White. Sorry, I'm watching a VOD. Season 1, we had what was it? Rhetoric's broadsword, right?
Yeah.
People like No Life, and then season 2, they're like, hey, we fixed the quest. You can do it now. So I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't do that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 second. Stumptown Retro, thank you for the sub, man. 14 months. Glad to keep supporting. You are great. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. So yeah, I don't think Anthem needs PvP. I think if they focus on the PvE space and nail it, it's going to be a really, really good test case. CJ brought up the conversation once about Destiny not having PvP, or if they should separate the modes. Maybe they should.
I don't want to interrupt you, but separation is such an obvious thing. It wouldn't. I'm not a game developer, but I can't imagine why they haven't done it yet.
At least the balancing aspects.
Yeah, definitely at least balancing. The Division 2, in a recent Q&As, the developer said they are absolutely separating balance in PvE and PvP. And it just seems like such an obvious move to me. I don't know why Destiny hasn't done it. It's obviously causing problems.
Likely because their infrastructure is not set up properly to do so. So they can't separate it. They would have to build a whole new engine, and I don't think they have the funding to do something like that right now. Ooh, Butter Chucker. Bullet Chucker. Sorry, Bullet Chucker. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. I thought it was Butter Chucker. Anyway, sorry, dude. But yeah, I'm happy to hear that the Division 2 devs are listening, and that are you excited for Anthem though?
I can't say I'm excited for Anthem, but I definitely see why people are. It reminds me a lot of Warframe. I spent a couple 100 hours in Warframe. It just wasn't for me though.
Yeah.
Flying around, demolishing, mobs and stuff. That's a lot of fun, but ultimately PvP is a big thing for me in games I play to be better.
You just said something that I don't know if you realize, but is do you know how many people would kill to hear somebody say, yeah, I spent a couple 100 hours in that game before I realized it wasn't from me? Developers would kill to hear that sort of feedback. And like they want to retain their player base, but a couple 100 hours is no joke. I have like 2,500, we'll say 2,000 hours in Destiny games by this point. So yeah,
I have about 500 in Destiny, 800 in WoW, 400 or 500 in Warframe. So I'm pretty well versed in the MMO looter shooter space.
Totally. Yeah. I'm really surprised you're not digging Anthem. For me, I really like the space fantasy, right? I noticed I wasn't really into WoW. Final Fantasy kind of hits that for me. Fallout, I really like. Not as into Skyrim, even though I play it. So it's just sort of interesting to hear you say that you seem to have a similar thing, but with different types of properties.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks, man. Thanks for calling in. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on?
You did bring up the PvP meta, and I just wanted to comment one thing. 7 months in between sandbox changes, too long period. Too long period. And the fact that it's not even a big sandbox update. We got super adjustments. We got auto rifle buffs for some auto rifle archetypes.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I think. Yeah. Hey,
Suros, yeah, 360, 720s, and 600s.
Big change. We took the heavy ammo timer and flipped it back. Come on and play PvP, everybody. It's just
I
like
can't wait to jump
again.
into comp.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
So,
last thing, the comp change. I don't know if anyone watches PvP streams.
Mm-hmm.
The comp change, while it is good for lower elo players, it's helping people get Luna. Sorry, go ahead.
Trafex, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, and Acedio Beef, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it, man. I like to give the shoutouts right away so people know that I saw them.
No problem.
So, yeah.
No problem.
Sorry, you were talking about the PvP grind and meta.
Yeah, I just wanted to last note the comp matchmaking changes. I don't know if you read about that, but they made the filter for your glory much more strict, and it's taking people so long to find matches now.
Oh, really?
That they're getting mongoose errors at high level comp. Like streamers, high level streamers up around 5,400 plus glory.
Yeah.
They just can't find matches long enough before the matchmaking system
Dude, it'll be
them out.
Dude, it's gonna be fine. They'll patch it in 7 months.
Yeah, exactly.
No, like that's scary because like if you lose the streamers, you lose community interest, and yeah, that could be very, very bad. Someone in chat said it could be DDoSing. It might be true. That could be a good point.
I think it's player base, honestly. How many people do you know that are 5,400 glory and above actively playing comp after getting their Not Forgotten?
Yeah, no, I don't play comp. You know what? I didn't play comp much at all in Destiny 2 because launch D1 or launch D2 wasn't that fun, and now I'm just like, I'm not doing that grind. Like on PC,
if you think about it,
on PC, I get matched with gigs all the frickin' time. Do I have a chance to get gigs? Fuck no.
Exactly.
He will stomp me. So why am I going to do that grind?
And people aren't playing it because there's no reward. There are 2 guns. There's exactly, I'll numerate it for everyone. There's exactly 2 reasons to play comp. Luna's Owl and Not Forgotten. Once you have those 2 guns, or even just one, if you don't care about Not Forgotten because you know you can't get it, that's it. You don't have to play that playlist anymore.
Yeah.
It's not even like WoW or something like that where there are delineated rewards. This is the armor set for raiding. This is the armor set for heroic raiding. This is the one for PvP. This is the one for comp PvP. We don't even have that in Destiny. There's 6 armor sets? There are 3 armor sets with enhanced perks in the game. Like what are you thinking?
Yeah.
You're not giving us a reason to play, so of course we're not playing, and we're looking for other things to play.
And there's a few games set up to take people's interest. Well, hey, thank you so much, AK Detroit. I appreciate you calling in.
I really appreciate you hearing out the PvP perspective.
I really want to hear counterpoints. It's great to have people agree with you, but I craft Fireteam chat because you want to hear point and counterpoint. You want somebody to support your perspective, right? And that's important to me. So thanks, man.
No problem. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Twips, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you everybody who's supporting the channel. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. If you're watching on another platform, you can watch over at twitch.tv/the Destin channel. You can call in. If I don't get to you this time, I might do more of these. We're going to be doing a ton of Anthem over the weekend, and I'm going to try and break the SHIT out of that game the first chance that I get. Real quick, just checking my camera here. All right, so we're going to go back to Discord. How are you feeling about this chat? Do embargoes lift tomorrow? There's rumors that there's a mystery embargo tomorrow. I'm not sure, but there might be an embargo tomorrow. Let me see. Yeah, people are tweeting at me these rumors of a something tomorrow might happen. We'll have to wait and see. President is saying I thought the embargo was February 1st. Who knows? All right. And who are we going to bring in? We got True Phenomenon. Let's see if he's there. Hey, True, you there or are you just chilling? Give you just a second. Realize you're on the air. Bring in last load. The last load. Are you there? Smashing Skulls, are you there? Nano Chuck, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate you. Last load, you there, man?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, let me get these other guys out of here who were being quiet. All right, did you call to Counterpoint? Are you mad at me? Please don't be mad at me. How's your night going?
Oh, it's going great. On Counterpoint, what topic were you thinking about?
So basically, just the basic conversation that I'm starting everybody off on is the stream title. I said Anthem, why Destiny should worry. Somebody suggested the headline of Anthem, why Destiny needs to up its game. And I really, really think it does, because the content as of now is fairly uncompelling. And Anthem is super enticing. And I'm getting a little bit of a sub-train, so think on that for a second. So Nate Bish, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate you, man. And Fuego Mike, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. All right, last load. What do you want to discuss? What did I get wrong?
Well, I mean, there's two ways to look at it. Both games are kind of in the same area, looter shooter, but you have first person and third person, and it really takes two different audiences there. You know, I know plenty of people that will not be playing it because it's third, and you know, like PvP, that's another thing. Like, it's not going to take PvP players. What else we got here?
I'm listening. It's not going to take. You mean it's not going to bring in the PvP? Excuse me, the PvP audience.
They're. I don't think they're targeting the same people that the people at Bungie have been targeting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot different in many ways. Like in Destiny, with the second game, the group of my friends after the first raid, we gave up after that first raid because it got to the point where in endgame everyone was wearing the same gear.
Which one? Which raid?
What was the first raid in Destiny 2?
Oh, the big fat guy at the end with the wine glass.
The one that did the hand clap, right?
Yeah. I'm blanking on it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it pretty much got to the point where like everyone would just be wearing the same gear at max level, and no one would be like, "Oh, what's that guy got?" You know?
Jeremy, thank you for the sub.
It's with Anthem, they're separating
Callus,
cosmetic and
Leviathan.
and
thanks. Yeah.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Callus. With Anthem, they're separating the way gear and cosmetic is, and I think that's one thing that should worry Destiny more than anything, is the fact that no matter how powerful I am, it doesn't have to be. I don't have to change my look based on how powerful I am. You know. I'll repeat it again. We get to the point where everyone at max level in Destiny is wearing the same thing, and it just got boring.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of us play these games because we like the way our characters look, believe it or not. But you know, I think that's what Anthem's got over Destiny.
I totally agree. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to everybody watching. We are #1 in the Anthem directory. I'm aware Anthem is not playable right now, but that is the first time I've ever been #1 in a directory, so I'm pretty fucking hyped. We got about 700 people watching. Thank you for the support and just watching here. So basically, last load, I agree with largely with what you're saying. So I don't really have a good counterpoint, I guess. Like, my concern is that you say it's not going to bring in the PvP crowd, right?
No, I mean, if people are really into PvP, and then I don't really see the interest in a game like this. I personally, I could take it or leave it, but I'll leave it more than I could take it. So Anthem definitely has my attention right now.
Yeah. Oh, it does have your attention. But you brought up a good point about the PvP thing I wanted to bounce off of, because I would say the state of Destiny 2 PvP isn't particularly enticing either. So that's a danger. I would say if you're looking for a good PvP game, you're probably going to go play Rainbow Six, or you're going to go play the new Call of Duty, or something else that's out there, right?
Yeah, and there's new PvP games coming out all the time too. You know, this whole battle royale shtick right now, it's going crazy. So there's no shortage of PvP. And like previous people in your Discord channel have been saying, you know, Division 2 is going to hit it right on the nail, I think.
Yeah.
With PvP. So.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That I brought it up a few times on the stream, but you're absolutely right. Destiny, in my mind, and this is basically what I'm saying. I feel like something happened like Destiny, the devs sort of kind of became complacent, and they didn't do what they needed to do with Black Armory after a smashing success of Forsaken. So people are just like, you know what? You fooled me enough times. I'm done. And they bounced. The second part of that puzzle is nothing is enticing. There's no gear chase. There's no armor chase. The armors are like, I don't want to slam the devs because I'm sure there's people that like those armor sets. But I really liked what they were doing with Iron Banner in year one. We have all this excellent gear. Guess what? We can't earn it. So I have that Iron Banner set that I worked my ass off to get all the emblems for, and oh yeah, that's gone now. All right.
Yeah, they make things go pretty obsolete in that game. Like I was saying earlier, my group of friends really stopped playing Destiny 2 after that first raid. It really seemed to fall curse to the same problems that the first game had after you kind of reach max level. It was almost like they were making the same. Not saying that the entire game was a mistake, but it seemed like they were making a lot of the same bad decisions from the first game with the second game, and I don't know, it just left a bad taste in our mouths. None of us ended up going further than Callus. Like I said, we just kind of lost it after that.
Yeah, and that's kind of a bummer to hear because I want people to be playing with us. I want people interested and invested, because if they're not invested, we don't have a game to continue playing anymore.
Yeah, because Destiny's fun and all and everything. It's just, I don't know.
What am I doing? Yeah. Well, hey, man, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate you coming in with some thoughts on the conversation that we're having tonight. And this is really fun. Everybody's been super respectful. Even if I got a hater, it's just easy. I just kick them out of the chat. So, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm going to bring somebody else in.
All right.
Fizbin, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. And I got Jeremy. I remember Jeremy. R-Man, thank you for the host. And Shadows, thank you for the host also. Who else do we have that's available right now? Pegly Bad. Let's see if he's around. T.S. Hawk. Shock. Oh, Shocks. Shocks. Okay, that's a cool name. Thank you for joining. Pegly, are you there? Pegly is not there, and he is deaf. Well, he's deafened, so I'll leave him in for a little second. I'll try True Phenomenon again. True Phenomenon, are you paying attention this time? Nope. He isn't. Who else do we got here? Oh, here's Shocks. Oh.
Hear me?
Yeah. You there now?
Yeah. Here now.
Cool. Hey, so we're talking about Destiny. We're talking about Anthem. We're talking about why Destiny needs to up its game, basically. Do you have any thoughts about the conversations we've had tonight, or what point would you like to bring up?
I don't know. I think they definitely need to be worried about it. But not just Anthem. With Division 2 coming out, I know you have talked about Anthem not having a PvP section. At the moment, I don't think Destiny 2 needs to be worried about that, because PvP is just trash at the moment.
Yep.
But Destiny 1, I think, is probably the best point that PvP has been. Like, I'd be able to hop on there for hours on end and not even realise I was playing. Whereas here, it feels more like a grind.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, I hopped back into D1 a few days ago, and there was just something different. I'm like, this is pretty fun. And I couldn't quite put my finger on what was different. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I think for the PvE side, I think Anthem does have what it takes to maybe take a couple of the people away from Destiny 2. I think Division 2 is going to be where the PvP section will leave if Bungie don't. Sorry.
It's okay. Take your time.
If Bungie don't pick up and change something to make it, or even just to take it back to where it was and make it fun again. I haven't played Anthem yet. I'm waiting for the free one tomorrow to come online.
Cool.
But from what I've seen, it definitely looks like my sort of game.
Yeah, dude.
And I've played
go ahead.
I've played Destiny since the beta. I've been with it through the expansions, and it's been my go-to game. But now, looking at Anthem, from what I've seen, it does look like good fun. And I've been a big fan of not EA, but BioWare. The first three Mass Effect games were probably the games that I resonate with the most. They were just fun and replayable, and is pretty much what I lived on.
The first stream I ever did on this channel was the original Mass Effect. I am unabashedly a huge BioWare fan. I will always root for them to do the best. But I'll call them out when they miss the mark too, like they did with Andromeda. Andromeda wasn't for me, but I'm still going to be hopeful that we get an excellent experience with Anthem, and I think it has some really, really good legs, and I'm really, really excited to see what they manage to do with it. Are there any other things that you want to talk about, True? No, go ahead. I don't want you to feel rushed. This is very casual. No worries. Yeah.
I don't think it was the last fellow that was on, the fellow before him bringing up the sandbox changes. I think that needs to happen more than once every 7 months.
Oh, dear God.
Especially,
yes.
Especially with the fact that, as he brought up, one-eyed mask.
Yeah.
I know
Jericho,
that he's brought
thank
it
you for
up
the
on Fireteam chat a couple of weeks ago about that, and the Skullfort helmet for Titans as well. That gives you back your shoulder charge.
Yeah, that one's fun.
Yeah.
For me.
That's all that I seem to be seeing Titans running around with now, is either Striker Titan with Skullfort or the one-eyed mask, which is broken, and how it didn't receive a nerf of some kind in this latest sandbox change is beyond me.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do about that, because it definitely needs to be adjusted, and they just haven't really touched it. And it's kind of like, you guys know this is messed up, right? Like it's ruining your sandbox.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah.
especially with now that it's got a month till the season of Drifter comes out, I do think that if Anthem does come out in a really good state and continues to build on that, then Destiny, I think they will have a reason to be worried.
Well, yeah, you got Anthem and you got Division 2, two games that have 40, 100 hours of gameplay in them. And what is Destiny going to be bringing? Season of the Drifter, more Gambit. Something that we just had to grind to get Malfeasance, because before they did the 3-week thing, it's just like what you had to do. So Gambit's fun. I actually like the mode Gambit a lot, but if it feels too similar, that's not going to be a good look for them, I think.
Yeah, especially if it's only changes to Gambit that they bring out and not something else. I feel that if it's just focused around Gambit, then a lot of, like you said earlier, people will come back to check it out and play around with it. But if it is just Gambit, then I don't think much is going to change, and people will just come back to playing Anthem or Division 2 and wait until Season of the Redacted.
Totally. Yeah, Season of the Redacted will have a new raid, and that'll be compelling. And by then, hopefully, they bring back Trials of the Osiris. Thanks for
hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for calling in, True. I really appreciate you contributing to the conversation tonight.
Not a problem. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, man. I'm going to bring T-Shocks down here, and I got to give a quick call to Eyes Taught It. He said, wants to know, feels about VP having an impact on PvE experience. Oh, PvP having an experience on PvE experience if it's added to Anthem. PogChamp 10. If I don't think they're going to add PvP to Anthem, and if they do, it's going to be a while off. And I did give Jericho Wolf Alpha a shout out for the Twitch Prime sub. Shocks, are you there? Blurry Hunter, are you there? Kalex, are you there? Calix.
Hello, yes I am.
Hello, yeah. Blurry Hunter, I'm going to put you in Raid Bros, so I'll queue you up for the next one. Calix, how's it going, man?
Let me just mute your stream a second. There we go.
Totally
yeah, I'm doing fantastic. It's currently 5:24 a.m. in the UK right now.
Oh, boy. Hey, did you watch the new RKG? UK, they have a pretty big following
No, I
over
actually
there.
haven't. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
That's something on my list at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as I get around to it, I'll definitely let you know my opinions.
Yeah, cool. Love those guys. If you remember the Prepare to Try guys, they started their own thing. It's called RKG, and they're basically doing retry. It's called, where they try really hard games. And I was not paid to do that sponsorship. I just want to see my friends succeed in life and be happy.
It sounds like it's going to be very good.
Yeah. Bringing it back to Destiny and Anthem, what would you like to discuss today? I'm talking about Anthem and why I think Destiny is up its game, why Destiny should be a little bit worried about this major property, and then Division right around the corner.
I'm here slightly to have a little bit of a gripe at you.
Great, let's do it.
Not really just because of the stream title and the way that you're basically saying Destiny should worry, because I don't think it's just plainly on Destiny as a game. I believe it's more into the genre as a whole. So we've got to think about how the Division 1 launched really poorly, and they managed to work on a few things, iterate a couple of things, and we can see in Division 2 that it's coming into
Can I counterpoint
more of a
on
smoother thing.
Can I counterpoint on the Division 1 point? Division 1 launched in an excellent state. They promised us great endgame, and then that endgame came about 50 hours into your gameplay, and it sucked. Still, they got 50 hours of our game, and I thought Division 2 would be my second game. But then they started banning their fan base, and they just made all the wrong moves at launch, and it really, really hurt them. And hopefully with Division 2, they're saying, hey, we learned our lessons. We fucked up. Here's all the changes we've made. We've improved the game, and you're right on that front. But I would argue that Division 1 launched extremely, incredibly strong because people were tired of Destiny, and they were looking for that new game. And Anthem is set up in that same way right now.
I think it was just
Division
their first couple of days. Their first couple of days did have a lot of gameplay bugs, couple of issues falling through maps, and that gave it really bad PR very, very quickly.
For Division?
And a lot of people, for the first Division. And a lot of people did just jump ship.
Meg Wolf plays, thank you for the Twitch
or
Prime
waited longer to be able to get into stuff.
Yeah.
But we've got to remember that it's not just about Destiny or those single type games. It's about the genre as a whole.
Okay.
We've got to remember that everyone likes their own specific worlds. So we've got sci-fi, fantasy coming into Anthem. We've got
Donut. Thank you for the sub, man.
Apocalypse thing in Division. Again with sci-fi with Destiny. So it's going to appeal to many different people. And how they're doing it. So again, we've got PvE aspects, we've got PvP aspects. We've got to remember that players tend to grab these experiences for those tiny little bits that they want. So gear grinding.
And then they devour them. It's about min-maxing. It's about building your character, being a badass. Oh, look at this thing I figured out, how to break the game. Everybody look at what I made. Here's how you can do it at home. And then it kind of like causes this reverberation throughout the community where everybody wants to talk about that and have that conversation.
Exactly, yes. So we've got to think more on the wider scope. But I think Anthem's VIP demo, while it was rocking, gameplay was absolutely fantastic. I played about 28 hours-ish when I was able to get in. I had friends coming in. I invited friends with VIP codes. It was strange the way that they did that, but I feel that they're aiming to have the players be together, the player base be stuck in one category, and that, I think, is very important. We've got to think Division had like a season pass and incursions. We've got Destiny with season pass and DLCs, splitting up these player bases. And then when you add in PvP as well, you further then split up your player base. I think PvP as a whole is a really good aspect of any game, but it needs to be done in a way that allows your players to also experience the rest of the game as well. So I think having it more of a casual PvP, so you can go in, you can have bragging rights, you can be like, I killed this many people, you know, like Halo days. You didn't earn any sort of gear that would help you in another activity. So I think if they split up PvP and PvE in Anthem, I think it could do very well. If they have different progression tiers. I think progression in a PvE and a PvP aspect could be a little bit more of a showstopper for them if they had it in one chain rather than splitting the chains up into multiple categories, if that makes sense.
No, I know what you're saying. You're saying it's the silo problem that I bring up a lot on the show, where they're kind of like sectioning off everything, right?
Yes. And that's something that I think at the moment, with just having PvE aspects in the game, and BioWare being so transparent with everything that happened over the VIP demo and where they're going next, the open demo received a patch earlier on today, which, if you haven't got it already, you should all be downloading that.
Yeah, I did on my PC.
It's only like 200 megabytes or something like that, but I've heard that PlayStation's now got the update as well.
Yeah, and Xbox got it earlier today.
So everyone's starting to get these performance updates that should translate into the open demo. But we've got to remember that the term demo really does mean beta. It's a demonstration because they're changing the aspects that you're going to be using in the real life game. Like the currency, for instance, the way you earn currency or cosmetics is different in demo than the release game. So I understand their use of the word demo. But
Swooted, thank you
we've
for the
got to
Twitch
remember
Prime
as well that EA...
I'm muting myself so I can do Twitch callouts and not interrupt you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I see, don't worry.
Yeah.
We've got to remember that EA as a whole has not had a very good track record. But we shouldn't hold EA against BioWare. And I know Andromeda wasn't very good either, really, on the major part of it.
Yeah.
It did kind of flop. But I don't think that we should immediately think back to those times and go, well, this game's going to flop, because I think that's bad thinking, and that's what's going to create toxicity in the gaming environments. And we need to be more outspoken of what we do want rather than what we don't want.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. But you're not really giving me anything to bounce off of. You're just making some good points and intelligent counterpoints. But you did say you wanted to slam me on something, so
I think
I'm open to talking about that.
I think the slam is more of the fact that you seem to be focusing on the narrow band rather than the wider band. I think it's more of a wider issue that we should be talking about in the industry as a whole.
You're talking about the genre, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rather than talking about the specific one games. Destiny should worry. And they should worry for their PvE aspects at this moment, because we don't know what's happening.
I get what you're saying. I would categorize Final Fantasy XIV in the traditional MMO genre, right? For the genre that Destiny fits in, there's very, very few games that actually hit that and do it really well. I think Anthem is poised to be one, and I think Division and Division 2 are poised to be one. I think Division 1 missed the boat already. So as a trio, I think those are the three that everyone's going to be looking at, and they're going to be competing for mindshare, right? And that's kind of the conversation that I'm having tonight, because Destiny, in my opinion, is not in a good state and needs to, as somebody suggested in chat, up their game. And basically,
they do.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, this go shoot the same enemy 900 times stuff, it doesn't cut it anymore. I have no reason to grind for these weapons. I don't have any boss to fight, any of that stuff. Real quick, sorry to interrupt your point. Beat Doctor 07 donated $10. Thank you so much. Hey, Destin, great podcast on Anthem.
Nice.
Super excited for the demo this weekend. About 3-ish months ago, you were going to send a postcard. I never got it. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to put it in my calendar for tomorrow. I'll send it. Just send on over your address on. I think you can actually direct message me on there, and I will definitely send it over to you. But I'm going to put it in my calendar. Sorry, Calix, go ahead.
That's totally fine, dude. Stream is first.
Yeah.
Always first.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got to just separate the aspects of keeping things so negatives on the major scale, because if we're talking negatives, nothing's going to change. If we end up talking on the positive side of things and what we as gamers want, things will start to change. Just look at the Game Pass subscription model that Xbox used, or the Play Anywhere subscription program. We asked for that, and it's starting to be adopted. Obviously, now Origin's now using that same kind of subscription model. So
Xbox does it exceptionally well. Origin,
yeah,
I would say, needs a little work.
I think it's more of their content, really. EA has been slacking with their content recently, but that's because of poor choices. In the MTX side of things, and that's a completely different debacle, like conversation that we could have, and that could create a lot of issues. But that's the thing. It's about having clear, precise communication with the development teams and seeing where their objectives are. So seeing a roadmap for Anthem could make the discussion a lot easier to have. But since we don't currently have that, and we have roadmaps for the other projects, it's a lot easier to compare Anthem to those a lot easier in negative ways.
Yeah.
Than a positive, constructive thought process that could create a better game overall.
So first of all, stuff going on in the background. BioJess, I can't message you back, but that would be great if you could send me questions from chat. And Beat Doctor, I got your message. Thank you. I'll send that before. And to respond to you, Calix, the whole negativity thing, you're absolutely correct. I came in to January off of a December where chat just kicked the shit out of me verbally, right? CJ hosted a show, and they were basically like, fuck Destin. And I'm like, I've been like, do you understand like what I've had to sacrifice to do this show every Friday for 5 years? And exactly. I was the one that edited it for so long. But I realized that something was off about my presentation style. And it took that moment of frustration and like, Jesus, I don't even want to work on this anymore, for me to go,
yep.
You know what? No, there is a way for me to be better about this. And I've kind of changed my content styling, and it seems to be doing well in January. I want to do more collaborative stuff. I don't need to be necessarily whiny, as a lot of people describe it. And I kind of get where that feedback comes from. And I think I can do better. I think I can provide points as to why I want to critique a piece of content or have a dialogue about a piece of content without being inflammatory. We looked at it earlier in chat. We Googled, what did we Google? We Googled EA and Anthem. Go put that into YouTube and go see what you get.
I've already done it over the last couple of days. I've been following a lot of content, and a lot of people seem to be jumping on that bandwagon, and that's really, really bad.
Yeah, you know what? Hate and anger sells, but it makes a worse internet. It makes a worse conversation. And I've had an excellent night tonight with people who've called in and told me I'm wrong, and we have a conversation about it, and it's been totally fine. And
that's how
really
we
like
should
that.
be doing it.
That
and
is
I really
how we
like
should be
the
doing
format.
Thanks,
the
man.
format seems to be selling very, very well, and it's good to get community feedback on everything that you're trying to have a conversation with. And this is just one of the best ways that you could have actually put this discussion out, in my opinion.
Well,
and
thanks, man.
I'm really enjoying the show, and I'm looking forward to a lot more Anthem content from you, because I've been following it recently and I'm loving it.
Thanks, dude.
So keep that up. I'm definitely going to be following along with a lot of that stuff, and we should do this discussion again, I think, when the game is launched, and see if the opinions of myself and yourself have changed at all.
Yeah.
And see where we go from there, really.
I've heard
of... Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And chat, it does seem like people really, really like this. I'm seeing a lot of people comment. Calix, have a wonderful evening, okay?
Enjoy yourself, bud.
Thanks. Yeah, chat. Have a wonderful evening. Or sorry, no, not chat. Calix, have a wonderful evening. I have heard that you guys really, really like this format. This might be something that I end up doing more. That's sort of what the Sunday show was supposed to be. But man, if you guys are liking this, like, I think this is the most concurrence I've ever gotten organically, ever. I wasn't hosted by BioWare. I wasn't hosted by any big popular streamer from what I saw, unless I missed it. So just thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in to have this conversation about Anthem and where it's at. I'm going to continue taking questions. Let's see if Shocks is actually there. Shocks.
Oh, all right, man.
All right, your mic was on this time. A lot of UK folks. I must be streaming a little late tonight.
I'm Scottish, yeah.
Scottish, okay.
Yeah. Nearly 6.
What did you want to discuss tonight? Or this morning, or whatever time it is in your part of the world?
No, basically, I was already on before. But I was gonna say someone put in the chat something about Borderlands.
Oh yeah.
And basically, like, I feel like Anthem, Division, they're not like, they're looter shooters, but they won't, like, I don't see the similarity really between them.
It's the gameplay loop. It's the gameplay feedback loop of killing stuff, getting gear, powering up, and I can see the comparison. I actually love Borderlands 2. It was one of my early guides at IGN that I worked on, and I had a really, really good time with it. But yeah, that's a good time.
I think the thing Bungie needs to worry about really is just like when a Borderlands 3 or something similar, like a Borderlands game comes out, because I feel like that's like exactly the same to Destiny, really.
Yeah, well, Borderlands 3, who knows what they're going to do with it. Is it going to be online? We're not sure yet. Shocks, we already had you in chat, really?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man. It's a bit of a blur.
It's all good, man.
All right. I told Blurry Hunter that I'd be taking him next, so I'm gonna bump you back up to Ray Bros.
I was talking to him.
All right, cool. All right, have a good night.
You too. Yeah.
Blurry Hunter, it's your turn. What's going on? So, hey, I hope you're having a wonderful night, first of all. Thank you for calling in and being on the show where I talk at the camera and play gameplay that is terrible behind me. And, what did you want to discuss?
So, I got super hyped up. Like, I don't want PvP in Anthem, right? Like, okay, let me rephrase that. I don't mind if there's PvP in Anthem. It's not for me, right?
Yeah.
But I started thinking about experiences that they had in Dragon Age Inquisition and Mass Effect, right? Where they had that sort of PvE experience, and the multiplayer was set up in a lore-friendly manner where you were playing as part of, either the Inquisition or whatever group it was, I forgot, in Mass Effect. And you were doing these little side missions, kind of as how they hyped it up, while all of the events of Commander Shepard and the Inquisition itself were going on in the single-player game. Got to thinking, what if Anthem did something like that? Because they have this huge world that's, they're hyping up the idea that it's ever-changing. These Shaper relics are going off, causing all this catastrophe. And I was thinking, well, what if they did a PvP? It was separate, of course, balancing issues and all that stuff. They kept it an isolated entity. And they did the PvP in a manner where it was Dominion versus Freelancers. Makes sense. It's class-based, so you would pick a class, maybe have 4-on-4 to fit each javelin. And the winner would actually influence an event inside the PvE experience. Like if the Dominion wins, then it would open up a special mission in the PvE experience where you have to go out and put a stop to that relic.
Ruby out. Thank you for the sub.
If
that's really cool.
Yeah, if the freelancers win, it would open up, I think they're called archivists. They would send you out to the same area, except instead of the relic being set off, it's to investigate exactly why the Dominion wanted this so badly, right? Kind of a really hyped idea, and I was just like, instead of typing it, I could just come on here and talk about it.
No, I mean, that's really cool. Anything that would... So you're saying if they added PvP and they sort of did this thing where two factions were fighting, then that would have an impact on the in-game world?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you would have
be
like
awesome.
A specialty. Yeah, you'd have a specialty mission that could pop up, and it could be keyed to be like an instance that's a clone of the PvP map where it happened. However they want to do that. But the idea in my head is that you would actually go out to that location, either be a raging mess after the Dominion decided they wanted to plug and play because they know everything, or it would be a calm aftermath from the PvP that's raging on behind the scenes, right? And you would either be trying to put a stop to the Dominion's success from the PvP game, be trying to investigate the interest that the Dominion had in that location from the PvP game because the freelancers want it, right?
So here's the thing. We don't know what Shaper Storms are yet, right?
Yeah.
What if Shaper Storms are something like you're describing, like the Shaper Storms start, and if we don't defeat it, thing one happens. If enough people defeat it, thing two happens. I mean, you're bringing up some really interesting ideas about possibilities for the game.
Like almost fourth wall hyped.
Yeah.
For some of the things they have in this game, like a meta concept that just really is amazing. Like they have this built-in idea with these Shaper relics going off, causing all this miscellaneous catastrophe, and that actually explains monster spawns. That explains weird teleportation physics. That explains if they wanted to freeze it over for a winter event. I mean, these abilities to really sort of suspend your disbelief with the lore that they have created pretty easily and in a believable manner.
That sounds incredibly cool. Like, imagine if they could just sort of do that, like just set half of the place on fire, or like, I think people have like sort of teased that like maybe they're going to do something crazy with new maps, but a lot of hypothesis going on in the community right now, and that is super exciting to me. I think I saw Blessius in chat. Shout out to Blessius if you're tuning in, dude. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about though, Blurry Hunter?
Well, pretty much I wanted to echo the same thing most people said, which was that, a lot of the Destiny crowd that Anthem would pull away are people like myself and my brother who really got into Destiny because we were in it in the early launches of the very first game. So we played and stopped at Warmind in number 2.
Yep. So wait, you didn't play Forsaken? Or
no?
Yeah, Forsaken, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we didn't play that. We stopped right after we completed the storyline from the Warmind.
Okay.
What happened was we were just like, it's kind of much of the same stuff. We'll just go look up the story online. You know, we loved the story. The problem was that it always came to the same funnel, where it was just now you're bottlenecked in the same 3 events for what, 5 more light on an infusion to a meta weapon that you've had for the last year and a half.
Bless is saying they're totally risked from Diablo, in my personal opinion, and that I would be so hyped about that. So he's kind of echoing the statements that you are, that that would be freaking awesome if something like that happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
the world changing stuff too. I actually don't know what the things are in Diablo that he mentioned, but anything that gets people excited is pretty cool.
Absolutely. And so, with Destiny, Destiny had idea of like spinning this loot system and this these classes. You felt you were a space wizard, or the hunter was this ranger kind of thing, and the titan was the wall, the brick. Super hyped to be a titan. He wanted to be like the tank of the group kind of thing. And then what it came down to was that was not how the mechanics worked at all. In theory, on paper, sure, that's how they made you sound, but in practice that wasn't the case. You were only whatever your guns were at any given moment, and maybe your super if it was super OP. A self-res warlock, or a dome titan, or shadow shot tether. And other than that, your identity was whatever guns you carried in with you, and most of the time it was going to be the same stuff as everybody else because it was the fastest, most efficient.
Because you've min-maxed and you figured out that it's this, and there aren't alternate builds.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, do you have Galahorn? No, you're out.
Remember that intimately. And then when I started playing the Anthem demo, technical issues, I had 1 hour into the storm, and I was sitting there and I was like, this is everything that I had wanted Warlock to be.
Like in your mind, you're like, you're a wizard basically, right?
I am the space wizard for once, right? only ever felt like that in Destiny when I got a really awesome Nova Bomb.
Yep. I would say that.
And then I was.
That part where I run into the tree is very funny to me.
Oh yes, I actually chuckled that. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Totally get what you're saying, and
so Destiny has the first-person shooter thing on lock.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. It's one of probably the best feeling, lag aside, FPSs I've ever played in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But it just, the loot side just was never to me, and that's really my big want to play the game aside from the story. And then once I exhausted the story without the loot mechanic being there, it was like any other first-person shooter. Well, I guess I'm just done.
Yeah, and that's kind of where Destiny 2 is right now, and that's how a lot of people are feeling. Yeah. So yeah,
Destiny's gonna. Oh yeah.
I was just gonna say thank you for calling in, but what's your last point?
I was just gonna say that Destiny is gonna hold that crowd, and if Anthem does pull anybody away, it's gonna be those people that were really wanting that sort of Diablo grind loot experience.
Right, and I think there is potential that they're going to nail that. Just digging into the gear stats, even from the beta, I'm like, oh, that's super compelling.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I want to try that with this build. Like, I'm trying to get a 4-man crew this weekend to run in with 4 Rangers and do 4 muster points with the snipers. And I'm like, how much DPS is this going to do? And I also noticed if you step out of muster point and step into it, you get 2. So I'm wondering, I'm like,
really?
Is there a potential that this could double stack? It does stack. I'm wondering how much can you make it stack? And that's the kind of stuff.
Those are the reasons. Those are the reasons why I have just found so much love in what I can see in Anthem, and I really hope that translates even more so into launch.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree, Bully Hunter. Thank you for calling in, and I hope you have a wonderful night. I appreciate the call.
You too.
Thanks, man. All right, I'm going to do two more. It's hard for me to stop streaming because there are so many people watching right now. We still have 673 people watching. Thank you so much. Hey, I stream pretty regular. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 8. All weekend I'm going to be playing the Anthem demo. This is not a sign-off. I'm still going to be taking questions. If you have any questions or concerns, I'm streaming over at twitch.tv/the Destin channel. And if you like this type of content, you can support this stream by subscribing on Twitch or subscribing with Amazon Prime, which costs $0. If you don't have money, that's totally fine. Hit follow. Sometimes I do these bounties where I have to shave on stream or talk about a shaver or something for like 10 minutes. And that's another way you can support too. Cardin, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. 600 people on Twitch. You made it, man. Well, we'll see if I have 600 people. Ooh, Bionate, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you for supporting this. I think I'm going to have to look into some changes next month to bring this up. Got to think about how to reinvest that capital. Maybe get freelancer chat on some audio platforms that people have been asking me about nonstop. What about Division 2 in March? How much time are you going to play Anthem for? We will see. Let's bring in Del Monte, longtime viewer. Del Monte, you're on the air. How's it going, man?
Good evening. What's going on, Destin?
Not much. It's good to see you again.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm enjoying this new format. Long-time listener, first-time caller. So,
what do you got?
Oh my gosh, dude. I think I'm definitely on the pro PvP camp, but I think one of the things that goes beyond that, because I don't want to see that first. I'd rather see like an 8-man raid. I want them to focus in on the PvE side. I think long-term, again, when we're talking about a games as a service, 10-year game, hopefully, mentally, not a Destiny 10-year, game, but a Anthem 10-year game, hopefully. But I think the real big hurdle that I see, and I don't know if you're seeing this, is just the people who wish for this game to fail. And I get being anti-EA.
You know, I totally agree with that, and that's all you see right now. And I'm like, hey, where's your apology video going to be when this game knocks it out of the fucking park if that happens? Oh, you're not going to make that? You're just going to jump on that bandwagon next? Right now, it's cool to shit on this game, and I'm saying, hey, I think this thing has legs, and I'm not going to make one of those shitty videos.
It's cool, and it's profitable. I mean,
it is. Anger is a profit mechanic that helps people get a lot of views very fast.
Yeah, and so is I was wrong about it.
I tried to be very careful with this headline. I think the word worry might have been too much, but I didn't want to fall into that same trap. Anyway, I interrupted you. Please continue.
No. This is your show.
Yeah.
But it's also then coupled by the misinformation. Now, I do understand and can respect people's like animosity towards EA. Like, I share no love for EA, but I can't as a software guy root against a developer, and that's BioWare. Like, it's like I look at BioWare, even with like Bungie, and obviously we're talking about Destiny. Even with Bungie, like I want to root for them. I want everybody to succeed because I think gamers win in that case. And just the misinformation, but also the misinformation is coupled with the risk that at some point EA could come back and just say, or like have some kind of influence, on how it's monetized. And that's obviously as a games as a service is where like I can understand and respect where people come from with that regard. I
get the EA concern. They made a lot of mistakes. They've made a lot of mistakes lately, and that is concerning to a lot of people. So I get where that comes from. And basically what they did to the Star Wars franchise made it, they leaned too far into pay to win. I don't know how the fuck could you not focus test something like that? To me, I'm just like, oh yeah, don't do that. There's no way all the people working on the Star Wars games were just like, oh yeah, this is going to go over super well. Some QA testers like, don't fucking do it. You're just going to ruin the game. They're going to be pissed. And like, oh, Mitch Dyer, who I used to work with. I don't talk. I see Mitch once in a while at things, but like, he's a very good guy. He worked on that game, and he definitely probably was like, hey, you probably shouldn't do that. And then, they took it away, but the story had been told. It's like when Damon just did a review of Resident Evil 2. He played through it 2.5 times. He said it was mostly similar. And now the story is that he did something wrong, or he did his review wrong. And he took that to heart. I don't want to speak for him, but he updated the review score. And but now it just sucks because IGN's story is that we didn't play the game. And I'm like, no, we played it 2.5 fucking times before we put a score on it. We missed a thing. And we updated it. We owned up to that mistake and we updated it. But that's neither here nor there. Bungie's dealing with sort of that. They don't talk. There's no story. The game is dead. Everybody hates the game. They're up against that. They've been up against that since I think 2 tokens and a blue was the last straw for people. They were just like, fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I got a question for you on it though. Like, let's just on the EA in and of itself is that when you look at what's happened since Battlefront 2, we look at their stock price going pretty much from 145. I think yesterday it got down to 82.
It's down again.
Like, it's down. It's bumped up today, like to 93 or whatever. Like, stock is going to always fluctuate, but to see such a significant drop, to see that, like, some of the people that I've spoken with the, in the industry, I've always kind of asked, like, what do they have to do? Like, I don't know if they care about like being redeemed in the mind of gamers, or even if that's a possibility. But it's interesting to see, and I want your thoughts on, like, I've never seen this level of commitment to outrage on a company on the internet. I forgot what I was mad about last week.
It's been that way for years, especially for EA. Some people brought up the whole stock thing, and they're right. Stocks have been going down across the board. So like that's God,
a $60 drop isn't a market adjustment. Like a $60, pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering, if it was the Star Wars franchise that, like, the love people have for Star Wars and the animosity of EA and the overstepping fused together like an insane amount of commitment to outrage, which I applaud, because that's the only way they're going to learn. You said that. How could nobody be saying this thing? But it's like, when you go look at the numbers, like, people are buying it. Everybody says that Call of Duty's dead, but then it still sells out like across the board every year.
So EA,
go ahead.
EA holds a special place of anger because of the fact that they bought BioWare, and then BioWare released Mass Effect 3, and the Mass Effect 3 ending sucked. And people were furious about it. Now, largely, Mass Effect 3 is a really, really good game. But then, another thing happens. Then the Star Wars things happens. And then, like, you get that developer's wife who basically said he's working, like, millions of hours and not getting paid for them. And It was just kind of like da 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 da, slowly chipping away at that credibility that they have.
Oh yeah.
And now they're just an easy target.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, because obviously you've played it. I've been playing Anthem.
Yeah.
And for me, when people make comparisons to Destiny, and I get where they draw that. I don't know if anybody out there who's listening played like Phantasy Star Online.
Oh, that's a callback.
Yeah, it's a callback, but it's like, for me, like Anthem has given me that same kind of like, oh my gosh moment that the original Phantasy Star like online gaming. It was like, yeah, obviously way more advanced, but holy smokes. Now, like, what were your thoughts on PvP, like in the long run? Because I've always wondered why Destiny and Anthem, because I've always was confused why competitive in Destiny wasn't like Halo, like same loadout, compete for power weapons, competitive. You know, it's like if they want some kind of competition, if they wanted the esports, which I felt like they were trying to get to, but I don't know. I'll let you speak.
Hey, LG just brought up something. Let me tell you about this game that launched. And do you remember this little game? It launched. It only had a campaign. It was only PvE. It had this interesting mechanic that a lot of people liked. They really, really latched onto it. And the game was out for a while. It didn't really capture any traction. And I think some of you in chat might know where I'm going with this. But yeah, a lot of people just wrote it off. But there was this building mechanic that was really interesting. And there was this battle royale genre coming up. And all of a sudden, they're like, hey, we're going to try battle royale with our game.
Yep.
That game's called Fortnite. So if Anthem launches, Anthem has that thing that has you interested. It has you checking out the game. You're already sort of hooked in the PvE space.
Mm-hmm.
If they can figure out how to replicate that in the PvP space, they could go to a whole new level. Now, I don't think they will. I don't know that they will. But that has happened in this industry. Really quick. Blazing Thunder, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. And Shiloh XX, thank you for the subscription. Tier 1. Appreciate you both. Thank you for supporting. If you want to support, watch on twitch.tv/the Destin channel. Watch on and follow. You can sub or sub for free with Amazon Prime. And Del Monte, you're right. I don't think that PvP, I don't think PvP personally could work in Anthem. I can't envision a way that they make it function, but it's because maybe I'm just not creative enough to come up with something. Because I wrote off Fortnite. I'm like, yeah, nobody's gonna fucking play this. But then they introduced Battle Royale, and it's history from there. It's history. That game's gonna go down as history. That's this generation's, like, what can you compare it to? It's like fucking Mario. It's a little guy. Well, not little guy because it's epic. But
it's $2 billion and it's still in beta.
Yeah,
it's still in beta.
It's insane what happened with Fortnite. It's absolutely insane.
I think that can translate. I think Battle Royale can translate into Anthem. You just kind of have to think a little bit outside the box. And if you look at other like RPGs, right? How have they done that kind of scale? And if you look at like Guild Wars 2 or ESO, it's usually about various factions competing over the course of a period of time, because like the battle royale is you drop in, you fight until you go, and you drop back out, and maybe that would work. But with how do you the questions are, how do you make it fun with your class? Do you pick up those things, or etc.? But beyond that, it's that if we were being dropped into this place, and over the course of a week long skirmish, you were participating, earning points for your side. It's not bad like the way we know Battle Royale today, but it's the way that, it's just like thinking outside the box. I don't know. I think PvP adds a ability for when there's gaps in PvE content, that it's still an interesting thing that you can choose to go and participate in. But the risk being, do they take away from PvE content for the sake of PvP? But Destin, you've been having a great show. I really appreciate you bringing me on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Del Monte. I'm just kind of queuing up the next thing and listening as you talk.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not overstaying my welcome.
You're not, but I will say goodnight just so I can get. I keep saying I'm going to do 2 more. This is really going to be the last 2, so I save my voice for tomorrow's show. Thank you, Del Monte. Have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to chatting with you again. Hey, are you going to be playing this weekend?
Yes. I'm going to be covering Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers thing on Saturday.
Oh,
so I get a brief bit on Friday, and then I'm hoping to be able to. It's rumored that the Shaper Storm is Sunday. So
no way.
That's what they're. Don't quote me on it. Del Monte Brian said this happened. It's like that's what everybody's feeling based off of what we've seen tweets and what they've quoted on Reddit.
They're not going to do a Shaper Storm.
Oh, come on. They said something's happening on.
They're going to like open the hub. They're going to open the social hub or something. That would be.
I don't think the social hub's isn't the demo build. It's an older. The hub came recently.
I swear Gamble said something like, "Yeah, we're going to open the social hub, so stick around on Sunday."
Okay, maybe
they do
maybe I missed that.
Shaper Storms. Shaper Storms would be absolutely bonkers. All right, well, hey,
but yeah, I'm gonna hopefully play tomorrow. But then yeah, I've got got a busy weekend planned.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna grab a few more and have a good night.
Night.
All right, so we're going to bring in Side of Beef, guys. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, I stream regularly over at twitch.tv/the Destin channel. Follow over there. Of course, you can subscribe and such, but if you follow, you can know when I go live. Epic Saul, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, man. Thank you for supporting the show. And Shiloh X44K, I think I might have missed you. And I definitely got Blazing Thunder because that's a really cool name. I'm going to bring down a Side of Beef. See if he unmutes himself. I'll give him a few minutes. And let's just see where we're at with viewers. 723. The viewership went up. I guess I finally found a format that you guys like. It's me not playing games. And it's just me talking nonstop all night. Side of Beef, I see your mic's on. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Did you sub before and I butchered your name?
Yes.
Well, thanks for the sub, Definitely. Dude. I appreciate it, and I apologize for absolutely destroying your name.
It happens.
Well, what did you want to discuss today?
Beats me. I was just listening to your stream. You know, Anthem is really fun. I'm excited for it. I'm hoping that they, after post-launch, they don't bring PvP in because it splits the player base.
Crispy Tuesday.
I've seen games like Destiny where that can cause some problems, especially if it's not implemented right.
What about my Fortnite example though?
Oh yeah, well, but that's also the same thing because like Fortnite, I played Fortnite before they had the PvP, and then what they did was they just stopped. They stopped updating the PvE.
Yeah,
they just abandoned
Save the world.
And that's the problem right there. Is you can either try to accommodate both if you don't put the split in, or completely throw away the one side that's not going to make you the extra money and go with the side that's going to make you the money.
Yeah, I sort of get that. They did later start updating it again. I didn't know that they initially.
I didn't even know about that either because I've just completely ignored it since they stopped updating it.
I sit next to Stephen Rue, and he always has to read the patch notes, and there's sections for the other part of the game that nobody plays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think there is an update there, but that is a lesson to be learned for a game like Anthem.
Yeah.
You know what? I was not into PvP until people started talking about, well, what if it was 4-player and you had to like liberate sections of the map before somebody else? What if we don't think PvP in the term of a first-person shooter, but in the term of like not a MOBA, but like a turn-based RPG or a game like StarCraft where it's more about your team managing resources and figuring out how to do that sort of thing. There are other ways to do it.
Strategy based, like instead, like kind of what I'm understanding from what you're getting is like
Gambit's a phenomenal
Gambit's idea, taking Gambit's idea, and then throwing StarCraft on top of it. Like start crafting and building defenses so you're prepared for that invader or the invaders. The other thing that cracks me up about Gambit is it almost feels like it should be the opposite some days. Well, it feels like maybe what you should be getting is if you're continuing forward, you need a punishment instead of a reward. So
not so serious gaming. Thank you for the sub.
You got 25 points in. Now we're gonna let somebody invade you instead to take points away.
Sort of interesting.
That would be an interesting change than what they have going on right now. because right now it rewards good progress, and sometimes there are just those teams that will just wipe the floor with you for whatever random reason, that all of a sudden they get points like no one's business. And didn't have that happen the round before.
No, that's a really cool point.
I kind of figured out something funny about that because my friends never caught on to this. But if you die with a bunch of points on you, they don't go away. They go into a cache. They come back out as stupid glittering enemies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I kind of noticed it.
So that's how the catch-up mechanic works.
Yeah, because one of my guys died with 15 points, and all of a sudden there was one little guy come out, and then like within like 2 seconds later,
H-gun. Thank you, Twitch Prime said.
2 more came out. We're like, what? It's like, hey, that's the points you lost right there.
That's a good point. I don't know if that's accurate. I haven't tested it.
I don't know if that's accurate, but we've tested it a couple times that it makes sense.
It definitely makes sense, yeah.
Because it seems to be consistent, but I mean, sometimes it takes a while for it to show up, but it doesn't. Like, there's been times where we don't get any of them show up, but we're literally like not having a problem at all.
Yeah. No, you're right. I never thought about that before.
Yeah.
Hey, Side of Beef, man, thank you for calling in and giving your perspective on PvP. My voice is starting to go, so I want to get one more person in before the end of the night.
Mine's been going too. I'm a school bus driver. I have to deal with kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. Don't yell too loud tomorrow.
Usually not a problem, but sometimes it does. Good old Robo Tracks.
All right. I'll see you soon.
All right. Yep. See you soon, man.
Bye. All right, so I got time for about one more. Let's see who we got. We got BioNate in the chat. BioNate, is your mic working? Am I going to get my first troll of the show? Or are you just hanging out, enjoying the conversation, enjoying the stream? Well, he figures out if he has a microphone or if he's just chilling. I'm going to see who else we got in here. I think we had... Did we have Omega Hero in here? Let's find out. Omega Hero, are you there? Did I have you on the show yet? BioNate's just chilling. Sent me a DM. Omega Hero, you there? All right. Who else do we got here? We got Ruthless JC. Omega, how's it going?
Yo.
Hey, did you want to call in or were you just chilling in chat? Hello? Omega, can you hear me? All right. Something's going on where his audio isn't coming through his headset or isn't routed properly. Omega, dude, I'll give you a shot next show. I'm going to bring in Ruthless JC. I want somebody to tell me how it is, and he's Ruthless GAC. Let's see what he got to say. Hey, Ruthless, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
You sound ruthless. Your voice, I know it's coming. How's your night going? I hope it's going well.
It's all right. It's going good.
Oh, well, I hope chatting a little bit has made it a little bit better than all right.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. I've been watching your stream for last weekend, and I was enjoying it.
Cool. You ready for the grind this weekend, where I'm gonna do a bunch of combo sets and try and break the game?
Yeah, I got what, 2 javelins max, pretty much, a Colossus and a Ranger. I'm looking to take a look at the Storm and the Interceptor. So.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. I want to mess around with the Ranger more, because it was like the default one. I feel like there's a lot of potential there, but I don't want to take all the time talking about what I'm going to do. Is there a topic you wanted to discuss tonight?
Yeah, about what you post about, why should Destiny worry? Like, I mean, if you look on YouTube, you can see, okay, let's see how many streamers that they are trying to take. I see Houndish, Dado, you got Dantix, I could probably name another 5 more that they invited to their EA Game Changers thing, right? So you call them shills or whatever, right? But they're all there to play the game, right?
You're not calling them shills, are you? Because some of those guys are my friends.
No, I'm saying people are, right? Like if you look at some of their comments, like, oh, you're a shill for EA because you went to their event in San Francisco, was it?
I was there, but I was at the press event, so.
Right, so you were there for IGN. You weren't there.
Guess I'm a
shill.
shill.
Streamer. No, I mean you were there for IGN as press, not like necessarily for a streamer.
Totally. So, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Personnel, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like people in the comments are saying that they're shills. But anyway, so what they normally placate to is the Destiny player base.
Yes.
So it's like Houndus, especially Dado, especially as he has almost 1 million subs. He plays strictly Destiny pretty much. Like they're going for these guys that they want to take away their players. Like that's their target. Like that's who they want to take. And I feel like that's the main reason why Destiny should be worried is they're looking for your streamers. They want the YouTube stars. They want them.
And so is Division. Did you look at the people tweeting about being at the Division event? Guess who was there?
Yeah, there was a lot of them too.
Yours truly. Hi, everybody. I was at the Division event. Expect my preview on Monday.
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, there was even just as much as them. And they want. I mean, I don't know how much. I don't remember how much Bungie did or Activision did for Forsaken. I know you guys covered IGN covered them for one of your first months or whatever like that, and I think GameSpot did as well. But I just don't remember seeing them cover like the actual people that people watch on YouTube cover it as much as I've seen just regular channels like IGN or GameSpot. But
Dado says Destiny has nothing to worry about. They are two different games. I think if Destiny doesn't get their shit together, they definitely have something to worry about. Their PvP is broken. Their PvE has a shitty grind. And they need to address these concerns that the community are saying, hey, I'm not having fun right now. They have 6,000 people on their channel. They took away trials, one of the pinnacle modes. Faction rallies are gone. They don't have factions whatsoever in their game. So you're left with what? Strikes, raids that you've already done and completed, gear sets that you don't really want, a PvP mode that's a fucking try-hard fest. It's just like, I love Destiny, but there are systematic problems that need to be addressed, and they're not being addressed. And I don't think the season of the Drifter is going to correct those problems. I don't like being this pessimistic about a product, because I feel like I give up that whiny vibe that I'm trying to avoid this year. But I want to bring up the point that Destiny needs to fix these problems. And if they don't, they're going to run into a troubled space. And here's the thing. You know who's sitting at that door just waiting for them to open it a crack? Division and Anthem.
Right.
And so are
There's
fans.
always someone else coming in.
And you know what fans are doing? They're looking out that door saying, hey, she looks kind of cute. I want to go talk to her for a little bit. And, next thing you know, you're hanging out with a new girlfriend. I don't know why I did this weird girlfriend analogy, but you get what I'm saying. That was odd. I'm sorry, Chad. I don't know why I went there, but the point I'm trying to make is it's really, really enticing when you've been playing Destiny. It's got a lot of problems. It's coming home drunk all the time. It's not picking up the kids like it used to. It's
leaving the shoes just laying in the living room,
leaving the shoes on the bed. Who the fuck leaves their shoes on the bed? And it's just like, you're just like, why are you even doing that? And then Anthem comes along, and it's a new game, and it's a new sandbox. and you can kind of have a little bit of hope that, hey, maybe this could be better. Maybe I could change something here.
Yeah, to play a little devil's advocate, like just as a counterpoint to what you're saying,
Thank you for the sub, man.
Anthem could fall in the same trap.
It could. It could, and that's the $1 million question. Literally $1 million question for EA and BioWare, because if they get it right, they have a chance to get a huge audience who is hungry for new content. If they get it wrong, they got a 1 week, 2 week, maybe 3 week game.
Right, and I don't think, judging by their
here's one thing they got wrong: the death screens. Fix that.
I played the demo and that was bothering me. Like, why can't I at least res after 30 seconds? I'm so used to it from Destiny. Like, why can't I at least come back and help my team? No, I'm just gonna sit here. And there's one time where I actually had to res my whole team that all drowned because they couldn't figure out how to get anywhere in the water. It's so silly. Like, why couldn't they just res in the spot where we're just swimming to get to the next point?
Real quick, says Dr. Smurf, I'm sad you missed my dono, fam. I'm really, really sorry. I just didn't see it. Maybe my filters are set incorrectly. But thank you, Dr. Smurf. I trust you. You tip all the time. So shout out to Dr. Smurf. Thank you. Ruthless, you were saying you're playing Devil's Advocate. And what was the question again? Sorry.
Oh, just if Destiny or if Anthem can fall in the same pitfalls as Destiny has in the last few months. Like I bought begrudgingly the season pass. I'm like, and I probably played. I maybe unlocked a third forge. I'm like, am I gonna play more? Like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I'm more looking forward to this game than I have this season of the whatevers. You know, like I've been more excited for Anthem than I have the next season of Destiny. So it just seems like they have some competition, and I don't know if Destiny can keep up.
Destiny, I think Destiny's next window for real is going to be September. And if they skip September, then maybe they're just saving something for a different month. And time will tell. Time's going to tell what they end up doing or what they end up winning with, so to speak.
Yeah, and that's the problem with all these kind of games. I mean, with any MM, I played WoW for countless hours. Couldn't even tell you. I mean, that becomes the problem with all these kind of games was content, and when people complain about time gating because they want to do but then they complain about there's not enough content. Well, because you went through all the content that we gave you, in the first week that it came out, so now there's no content left for you to do. But if we time gate it, then you're gonna complain about that. So there's no middle ground with a lot of consumers.
Well, hey, I got to counterpoint that one. There's you don't have to time gate it. Like, don't just make it where like I literally can't complete it because of a weekly reset. That's stupid.
Well, they did that already.
I know they did that.
I mean, all games do that, right?
And it's done.
Right.
But I think tying it to a weekly reset is kind of dumb. I think they could come up with something better. I don't have all the answers, but I'm just saying that didn't work. What else could you do? Okay, well, we turned that off. Now you can just do it. It's like, all right, but now the quest doesn't really have a great story, and it has an interesting gunplay mechanic for like the last word at the end, but beyond that, what else?
Yeah, I haven't even bothered with that yet. I mean,
no, you don't need it. Like, especially if you're on console. Apparently, it doesn't work as intended on console. So
yeah, I watched some streamers and it's like, it's not game changing. I mean, I guess in D1 it was, it's what people use in PvP, but there's way better guns.
Yeah. Respect Pizza says, let's judge it after it releases, not before. Exactly. I think I agree with that point. With that. And right now, we're just kind of talking hypotheticals and why Anthem has a head start and is looking real shiny next to Destiny right now. We'll see what happens when it launches, though. Ruthless, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. I hope your night gets a little bit better. You sound a little sad.
No, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed.
Oh, well, get some
I've
rest.
been watching you. I've been watching you.
All right. Well, I hope you get a good night's rest tonight. Come out tomorrow kicking, and have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thanks a lot.
All right. See you soon. Nice guy. Seems like a nice guy. Well, Chad, I'm going to go full screen here really quick. So I think I'm going to call it a night, but I just wanted to say really quick, thank you to everybody who called in. I probably will do more streams like this. I didn't expect it at all. Let's see if we're still #1 in the Anthem directory for tonight. Or did they just cancel my whole stream? I can't find it. I can't search anything. Yeah, so we still have like 669 people, but it's important to leave people wanting more. I don't want to overstay my welcome, so I am going to sign off. But I have a lot of thank yous to get for. Doc, thank you. Sorry I missed it. Mass, thank you for the sub. H-Gun, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Not So Serious Gaming, thanks for the sub. Crispy, thank you. Episcool, Epic Saul, thank you. Shio, Blaze, Bionate, Cardin, Rubyelt, Beat Doctor 07 for the $10 tip. Thank you, man. Swooded, Horrible. There's Dr. Smurf, $15. Sorry, man, I missed it. $15. Massive hot take. Division and Anthem won't even put a dent in Destiny long-term staying power. I'll be in Raid Boys if you have room for me to elaborate now and on the show. Dr. Smurf, I just saw it. If you're still watching, I have you in chat. You are going to be my last call of the evening while I do call-outs. Donut, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Mega Wolf, thank you for the subscription. Is that it?
Oh,
Jericho Wolf, the Game Looters, and we're gonna pause there, and we'll come back after the Game Looters. Dr. Smurf, I heard your hot take. Sorry that I missed it. I didn't catch it.
No, it's okay.
What were you gonna say?
I mean, if you're tired and you want to like hang up, and we can do this the next time if you
You're
want
the
to.
last call of the show.
Okay.
What
All
you
right.
got for me?
I'll be quick. Basically, I've listened to everybody tonight. I think there's some really great, valid points about what Anthem has a chance to do a lot better and the failings of Destiny. But I want to lay this out.
All right.
We mentioned the Division. I think that it was a PvP disaster when it released. Half the community wanted to not attack each other, so it basically turned into the people that were attacking each other were basically the equivalent of griefers in Minecraft. They started banning their own community rather than addressing criticism, and they had a lackluster endgame.
I agree. They blew it.
And then there's Anthem, which I'm not going to prejudge, obviously, as we've agreed. We got to let the game come out. But I think no PvP is really going to hurt it. I think it has a potential to have an even greater microtransaction backlash than Destiny does.
It's already getting that. It's not even out yet.
Oh, this is true. And I think that the lack of PvP will also cause a lack of competition in the community.
Okay.
So my argument is this. Destiny was the first to the party. Everybody's got rose-tinted glasses about it. It's like worn leather or an old pair of pants that you always keep going back to when you want to be comfortable. I think that it's got a lot of flaws, but it's simultaneously the most accessible in the genre and also offers some of the highest difficulty endgame activities, especially with the raids.
Destiny.
So, yes, Destiny. So I think what Destiny should do, if I'm being honest, is ride out the rest of it and let Division and Anthem come out and fight over the new car smell player base as they waffle from one game to another. Hunker down, batten the hatches, and put out the best next iteration of Destiny that they can.
So you're saying you don't care about Annual Pass, which is already done. I assume
it's
development
as far
cycle
as I'm
wise,
concerned,
the season of the Drifter is probably finished. Yeah.
It's spice on top of the steak as far as I'm concerned. I think Destiny's best play is to hunker down, make the next iteration of the game as best as they can, let Anthem and Division fight amongst themselves, and know that most of their player base is going to come back to that old pair of pants when the dust settles.
That's an excellent perspective, and I actually think that is sort of what they're going to have to do just because of where the player base is at. They have a lot of stuff to figure out for Destiny 3 or whatever the September update ends up being or whatever they end up doing. But you're saying they're just going to give it away for basically a year?
Coast on it. Just coast on it for the whole year is what I think they should do, and they should come back out the gate next year with the hardest hook that they can put on it. That's what I think they should do.
That would be a really, really smart strategy. That's probably what they're doing actually right now, because internally you got to imagine they're figuring out what the fuck they do without Activision and how to run as a business now that they're independent again.
And I think I'll leave the night with an old community adage that we've had even back before Destiny. The only thing that can kill a Bungie game is Bungie.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing that can kill Destiny is Destiny. I think they need to look inside. They need to be introspective. They need to work on how they're going to handle content releases without a backer. They need to take community advice and criticism, and they need to hunker down and just come back to us at the end of either this year or where their next big release is and say, all right, this is us on our own with all your feedback. Watch this. Boom. And then just drop it on top of everybody.
I would absolutely love that. And if that means I'm going to be playing Division and Anthem for a year, I'm fine with that too, because
I'm fine with that too.
I think people are just in the mood for a different flavor of the month, a different slice of pizza. They want to try something different for a little bit. And Bungie has actually said regularly that that's totally fine, and they totally support that. So maybe that's what we're going to end up getting. Maybe we're going to end up getting a little bit of a break, and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, great show, man.
Thanks Doctor. I really, really appreciate it. I always see your tips, and it's nice to talk to you on this show where I invite people randomly to speak with me. Yeah. All right. Have a good night, dude, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. All right, so I was in the middle of call-outs, basically just thanking everybody who subbed. If you want to support this stream, you can do so by watching at twitch.tv/the Destin channel. If you're watching and you're a new viewer, hit that follow button. I'm going to be streaming Anthem regularly, and you can watch me Tuesday and Thursday at 8. That is guaranteed, but I'm guessing I'm going to no-life Anthem when it launches. Separately from that, if you want to support the stream today, you can subscribe, or you can subscribe for free with Amazon Prime. Some people who supported me this stream, I need to give a shout out to Jericho Wolf Elpa, the Game Looters for the host, T-Shocks, Fibzin, Shad Rose, Jeremy, R-Man, Adjust Dace, Fugo Mike, Nate, Stumptown. Shout out, man. Stumptown has been subbed for 14 months in a row. That is freaking awesome. J4 Gamers, he hosted me. I see that guy all the time in chat. Really good to see you again. Work to game with the host. Thank you, and it's good to see you. Jake HD with a 500-bit cheer. TM Falgrim gifted a sub to Felix. So Felix, welcome to the party, pal. AZN Xbox 100-bit cheer. Good to see you, and thank you for the bit cheer. Back in Thai guy. Oh, sure. Thank you for the host. Demon Diver, thank you for the host. Scott M, thank you for the sub. Melly Kuma, J Mugs hosted. Oh, these are 2 days ago. All right, good. Lots of subs. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go full screen really quick. If you are watching the stream for the first time, you're about to meet my girlfriend, because I have this little tradition at the end of the stream where we sing a song about our gameplay, and it's sort of a sign-off tradition. I think I say it in the VOD, but I took the idea from Norm Macdonald. It's about creating traditions with chat, like how I point every time somebody subs and how I sign off every show. So thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching the show with me. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Ideally, I'm going to be live at 6 p.m. Pacific or 7 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to get home as fast as I can from work so that I can stream Anthem all weekend long for you. I can't wait to check it out more and try to break it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy the outro song. Sing along if you know the words. Hey everybody, it is the Destin channel outro song. I stole this idea from Norm Macdonald. We're going to sing a little song. Sing along if you know the lyrics. Take it away, baby.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's the end of the show and I've got to go, but I want you to know that I appreciate you. It's the end of the day and we did mostly okay, so I'll be on my way. No, I appreciate you. And with that said, I'm going back to bed. Don't die. Bye-bye. Don't my check. Thank you for the sub, man. Signing off, everybody. Good night.